Hi, hotties, kettles, teasters. You here for hot tea? All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only. And y'all just know I had to go ahead and hop on the live to talk about this because I told y'all. And I know it's gonna be a lot of people that don't want to hear what I have to say today because I'm gonna be saying a lot of real shit, and it just seems as though people don't like to hear that. But we're going to talk about it because Lexi went on Giving You the Real Teas platform and basically exposed what I've already known. People were even attacking me in the on my community feed post and under my videos when I was talking about Lexi and I was telling y'all that I understood exactly where she was coming from. Y'all was even coming for me. And I told y'all right then and there, if y'all can't understand that Lexi is lashing out, even though so many of y'all was like, oh, she just wants attention. And my standpoint was like, duh, of course she just wants attention. She deserves it. Why doesn't she deserve the attention? She clearly is crying out because she wants the attention of her dad. And everything that she exposed in that interview literally confirmed that my intuition ain't never wrong. Everything that I'm gonna tag my old videos, okay? Everything that I ever said that I believed about this situation was true or kinda on board. Period. I remember saying that Lexi was a baby when Nell was around. I absolutely believe that Nell had a lot to do with the situation with Chris and his ex, but I didn't know it was his ex-wife. How about that? So he was married to Lexi's mother for 2 years because Lexi thought it was 3, but Lexi's mother said they was married for 2 years. However, they had known each other for a very long time. So they were high school sweethearts. And can I just tell y'all, my intuition is never wrong because didn't I tell y'all that Nell acts as though Chris does not protect her? And I want to bring that up because I thought it was interesting that they went ahead and revealed that Nell pursued him heavily. It's one thing to pursue a man and let a man know, hey, I got my eyes on you. But it's a whole nother thing to be pursuing a man heavily. She also said that they sat down and had a conversation. And Nell made it seem as though, y'all, everything that I said is what it was. And so I want to revert back to when I said that the people that can't understand that are just, it's just because it's a reflection of themselves and they don't want to look themselves in the mirror. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Okay. That is just my opinion. There are some similarities to this situation that you resonate with that aligns with Nell. So when I speak about the situation as harshly, you get offended by it because you would do some of the things that Nell has done. You agree with the treatment that Nell has given. And before I really get into this topic, I want to talk about how if you were confused, if you had your reservations per the episode, which I'm a good judge, I'm a good read of character. That's all my intuition has continued to tell me. But if the episode where they had the dinner didn't make you feel like that, then when Nell got on Beyonce's internet responding to strangers about her stepdaughter that clearly feels some type of way about the treatment, that should have confirmed it. That told me at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I'm telling y'all right now, something is up with Neil. I could tell y'all just by being in that situation. A lot of my subscribers are 35 and up. Okay. So I need y'all to understand, when I made my platform because a lot of the perspective that was going around on YouTube was not from the perspective of the child in a lot of these situations that we've seen, specifically the male and male's baby mama situation. So even when I hear the situation with Lexi, Chris, the Fletchers, I resonate a lot with that situation from, again, the child's perspective. Okay. So I know y'all saying a lot in the comments. All right. And I'm gonna get in there. And I'm gonna talk to y'all, because I know some of y'all already cussing me out. Like, hey, happy mommy. I love you. Okay. But you've been on my ass this entire time about Lexi. And I'm gonna let y'all state y'all opinions, okay? I'm gonna let y'all have y'all difference of opinions. I'm gonna read them, okay? I'm gonna read them. But just give me a minute, because y'all do have the right to disagree. We have the right to agree to disagree. But see, and I don't forgot my point. I forgot where I was, but let me just go ahead and say hey to everybody. Hey, Kelly Davis, thanks for being here. Hi, Jesse, thanks for being here. Hi, Nyla, thanks for being here. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Nikki. She says hello here for Hot Tea and Chat. Hi. Hi, Connie. Happy Thursday. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, Classy Lady Forever. Hi, Monique. Hi, Z. Hi, hello. I'm talking about hi, hello. Hi, Jessica. I don't know why I said hi, hello. Hi, Connie. Oh, wait, I already said hi, Connie. Hi, Alf MC. Hi, Miss H. Hi, Nikki News. Thank you so much for your $4.99 super sticker. It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We getting it started early, y'all. Okay. Hey, Pink. Thanks for being in the building. Shay P, I don't know. You can't say the door is closed, be rude, and expect them to be open with you. I think that what it is that y'all don't understand is y'all are staying on the surface, okay? I think it's very clear that what I think it's clear what Lexi is explaining. Y'all are still stuck on that situation with the with being at the dinner or whatever the case may be. But if you watch the interview, then you would hear Lexi clearly explain, like, she's never really been around them like that. She's never been around them like that. She made it clear that, like, based on how they were treating her at the dinner, she was pretty much closing the door. Now, whether y'all feel like that was right or wrong, that's up to y'all. That's up to y'all. Okay. But again, there was a lot of depth in the interview, and we gonna watch it. Hey, ER. So Fletcher was double dipping. Of course he was double dipping. Look at him. I don't believe it. What part don't you believe? Everything Lexi told in that interview confirmed my point of view about Lexi. She's entitled and resentful towards her dad for not being in her life, and Neil as the other woman who stole her dad from her mom. I think she has the right to be resentful if she is resentful. Okay. But I don't know. She and then if she feels entitled, then I would say she has the right to feel entitled to, like, people don't get to just make kids and move on to a new family. Like, what? Absolutely. What are y'all talking? I feel like that. Like, even if we're gonna claim she's entitled and resentful, I'm gonna say, okay, okay, she is entitled and resentful. She didn't grow up around her dad, and then he got the nerve to be over here with a new family, buying them everything. He don't call her. He don't ask her if she need anything, etc. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to hear all y'all out. Who revealed that? Lexi and her mom. That lady even prayed with or for Nell. Exactly. That lady prayed with Nell and for her. Nah, never. Hi, Annette. Or let me see. My dad wife was the same way. I don't go around her, but me and my dad are trying to get back on track. Yeah, I agree. When Lexi said that she has never been alone with her dad, I was like, "Oh, girl, girl." Somebody said, well, Selma said she's bitter. And even if she is bitter, she does she not have the right to feel some type of way that her daddy was not involved in her life? Like, that's what I'm saying. We've kind of normalized men not stepping up. Okay. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Here for hot tea, you didn't hear Lexi lying out loud. Lexi was talking out of both sides of her mouth. What did she say? How did she lie out loud? Hi, Sylvia. Paula says Lexi sounded and acted like she was or she has mental issues. Oh my God. Y'all, what is wrong with y'all? Oh, hey, happy mommy says if Lexi did not bring materialistic items, the interview, it could be more believable if she would have gotten those. I think, but y'all, dog, I don't know. I don't know. I think that she is valid. I think that she's valid. So are y'all saying are y'all saying you can have kids with a man, okay? He can, I don't care how he leaves you, okay? But let's just say you in the same situation as Lexi's mother, because I would just say put yourself in Lexi's mother's shoes. But even let's just say y'all separate and it's not the same situation as Lexi's mother. And and he separates, he goes and remarries, and he chooses not to really see your child as he should, check in with your child as he should, but he created four more other kids or three more other kids or two more other kids over here with this woman, and he's taking care of them, he's active, he's providing for them. I'm trying to understand what y'all problem is. If you gonna go buy, these churn over here, a Game Boy or whatever the case may be, yes, you should get your other kid a Game Boy. And guess what? If you can't afford it, uh, That's why people don't need to be out here having kids and creating all these broken households. But I see y'all have normalized this shit so much to the point to where y'all we gonna start blaming the churn. We're gonna start blaming the churn for the parents' inadequacy. Okay. I'm here to talk about it if y'all willing to talk about it. We're gonna have to call a spade. Well, look, if y'all want to talk about it, I want to talk about it. Somebody said I've been a step parent. Okay. Step parents have entered the room. What was your experience? Okay. The step parents have entered the chat. The reason Neil have Chris, well, the reason Neil gave have Chris and gave period. I don't know. Gave hold on. Y'all, I don't have my glasses. So hold on. The reason Neil have Chris a grace or gave Chris a grace period was because she was already a side chick to this man, knowing she slept with him while he was married. That's what I was thinking. Like, why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? So you meant to say gave Chris a grace period. Okay. Because I'm thinking like maybe I'm reading something wrong. But Lexi mom raised her better than Neil did with her kids. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all something. This might be a live that, if you don't want to hear, if y'all don't want to like really bounce difference of opinions off of one another and agree to disagree, this might not be the live for you. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I feel like some of y'all opinions, in my opinion, are all the way off. Okay. And I'm team Lexi all day, and I'm willing to vouch for. I'm here to vouch for Lexi. I see. Oh, hey, happy mommy said drop the link, and I'm definitely gonna drop the link because some of y'all gonna have to say this shit out loud. Oh, hey, happy mommy, I'm gonna let you come up here for sure. Some of y'all gonna have to say this shit out loud because I don't believe y'all believe this. I don't believe y'all believe what y'all saying or typing on the internet. As a child, you're not always privy to what's happening in the relationship of adults. So her perception can be from her mother's point of view. Just a thought. I didn't watch. Exactly. So if you didn't watch, don't comment. Let me go ahead and pause, y'all. If you didn't watch, don't comment. Because when you watch the interview, then you would know that Lexi is not coming from her mother's point of view. Because if she was coming from her mother's point of view, then she would have a little bit more grace. How about that? And that's no shade, Miami Gardens. Now, we just talking, babe. We just talking. But I'm finna let y'all know right now. Lexi's mother is not who Lexi don't have no bitter mama. Lexi's mother is not bitter at all. And also, when Lexi made the comment and said, I don't know what that woman's problem is with me. Oh, I felt that so bad. I felt that so bad. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, Lexi, maybe it's because I just resonate with her because I've been through it. So it says, if you take your experience off the table, Lexi own mom debunked Lexi's story. Lexi was not being truthful. She was playing get back. How so? How so? That's what I'm saying. You being very vague. How so? Because if it's the point where Lexi forgot the fact that they weren't together, they weren't married for 3 years, we'll charge it to her memory. If it was the point of the interview where she forgot that Chris had gifted her kids something for their birthday or not for their birthday, it was either for the holiday or for their birthday. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I don't know. Thank you, sweetie. What are we laughing about today? I don't know if we laughing. I'm finna get a whole lot of kick ass. That's what it give. And the people giving me the vibes, they finna get in my ass in the chat. Especially, oh, hey, happy mommy. Because we are on two different sides of the fence when it comes to this. Lexi stated her mom remarried when she was 5 and she wanted for nothing. I do believe she went through some things, but she wanted the money aspect. That's what she was most upset about. I don't believe that's what she was most upset about, but I do believe she should have the money aspect as well. I believe that. I believe that. I'm not y'all not going to sit here and say, let's say that you have kids with a man, y'all divorced, who knows what the terms of, why y'all divorced, and let's just even say like he didn't have as much money at one point and then he got a NFL contract, you know, 10 years later. Let's say he got an NFL contract 10 years later or something like that. And now instead of him making $200,000 a year, now he's making seven 7 mil, 10 million a year. Yes, your child is entitled to his new lifestyle. And if he doesn't grant them that new lifestyle, they should be upset. Absolutely. Especially if you over here with new children. Absolutely. I don't know where y'all from. I don't know. I've been a step parent. To me, Lexi was privy to the information that a child should not have known about her parents' relationship. With that, she is using her mother's emotions in how her mom felt. I don't know what you mean, because from what I got from the interview, Lexi's mother never shared information with Lexi until Lexi became an adult. From what I got from the interview, Lexi judged her mother and felt some type of way about at toward her mother because she really wanted another lifestyle with her dad. From what I got, she thought the grass was greener on the other side, which was with her daddy. So I don't know now. I don't know. I don't know. And here we go. Come on, step parent. I need to know. You're gonna have to come up when I drop the link, because the step parents always have the step parents. I don't know now. I feel like step parents need to be very intentional. Like, if you're gonna be out here dating other people that have children, you need to be intentional with what it is that you're doing, and understand that you need to be able to remove your emotions out of the situation and do what's best for everybody's kids. People's children have emotions and they grow up. Okay, so if a child learns information later on in life, duh, they're gonna always learn about the things as they grow up. That's why you shouldn't be doing certain shit as your kids are growing up. But if you trying to say that, you think that she feels some type of way because she knew about certain information as a child, I didn't get that vibe. I didn't get that vibe. I've technically been a step parent. However, when me and my guy met in 96, we both had a 1 year old. We are still together, and I promise I was good to his daughter. She was always included. I don't know, Twinkle Toes. Oh, we would only know based by the child, because all the step parents feel like they've done the absolute best for the child. But you never really know until all parties are involved and they get to share their opinions. That's just mine. Because even like how we see with JJ and Selena, or yeah, JJ, Selena, and No Gucci. The biggest thing that JJ keeps saying when it comes to that situation is, "Oh, but she always helped. She did y'all hair, she cooked y'all food, she took y'all here, she took y'all there." And the kids are clearly saying, "Okay, okay, duh." And I think y'all need to understand, like, kids sense energy. Okay, those are all the same things that my stepmom did for me, but there was a certain energy that she had when doing those things. At the end of the day, she did that shit to please him because she's a mule. Okay, she wanted to be validated by him. And at the time, he was, and then I'm not saying this for every situation, but I'm just saying I can also resonate with JJ them, because at the time, my daddy was trying to make it a point to prove that he was the better parent. How do you do that? How do all the men do that? They get involved with another woman. Okay? So they get involved with another woman and try to prove that they can have this healthy, happy home, two-parent household or whatever, when they never actually settle the foundation. So, and that's another thing. The men, we're throwing too much. Y'all are willing to really throw a child in that situation that has grown up under the bus versus the adults, which in my opinion says a lot about y'all. It says more about you as a person, because ultimately, okay, in my opinion, the person that is the root of all of this is Chris. But for whatever reason, we have normalized men being able to create all of these broken homes, and nobody do anything about it. So we rather blame the child. We rather blame the other woman that's willing to throw herself in the mix of a man that clearly cannot stabilize his foundation. We willing to blame the mama-in-law. We willing to blame everybody else except the actual issue at hand. And I think that's really what what my problem is with so many women in general. Everybody willing to call out Lexi, but ain't nobody say anything about Chris. So I don't know. Somebody said Lexi contradicted herself a lot during her interview. Her actions are fucked up, and it seems to be from a place of hurt and discord. I think she has the right to be hurt. This is my problem. My problem is emotion, all empathy and sympathy to his son, but not the same for Lexi, and the same we see in the community every day with our daughters. And that is what I'm fucking tired of seeing. So I'm willing to scream to the top of from the top of a mountaintop when it comes to this situation. Because my point is, whether she's bitter, hurt, sad, disappointed, whatever the fuck, she has the right to feel that way. Why? Because there is a man that created broken homes that chose not to step up and do what he has to do as the leader of two homes at that point. And I'm hold on, because it's a lot of comments. It's a lot of comments. So I have to skip, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to understand, are children not allowed to have their feelings? Exactly. What the fuck? Man, really? It's a cold world. It's a cold world. I guess not. I guess not. I guess I guess parents are allowed to raise their children however they see fit, and the children are not allowed to have any type of opinion on it because they did the best they could. They live in Nashville. The mom said they met halfway for Chris to go get Lexi until she remarried. Okay, even if he live in Nashville, what that got to do with him picking up the phone and calling his daughter? A lot, a lot of women, a lot of women not going to see Lexi Point because they be out here treating other women's kids. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you. They're not gonna see Lexi's points because they be out here mistreating other bitches' kids. I agree. That's all this tells me. That's all this tells me. Y'all be out here coleslawing shit. And if you offended, you need to look in the mirror, right? If you are offended by that comment, you need to look in the mirror because that's some that I'm just being real. That's just my opinion. My opinion don't have to be fact. But if y'all can't understand where this girl, where Lexi is coming from, it's because y'all are out here playing, y'all are out here competing with other men, children. Y'all are out here competing with the men that you land with, children. That's my opinion. Because if it was your child, you would be able to understand. I just don't. I don't get it. Now that she's grown, she doesn't speak to her siblings, my kids, especially our daughter. She didn't live in the same city, which caused much of a disconnect. I didn't even meet the mom until 2005. Mm. Now that she's grown, she doesn't speak to her siblings, my kids, especially our daughter. Okay, Twinkle Toes, you just giving me some background because you said you were a stepmom. Okay, okay, okay. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Y'all would think that even, and then I would even say this. I would even say this. Some people, some step parents will think that they're doing their absolute best by just staying out of certain things, not inserting themselves in certain things, which could be making it worse. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody is perfect in these situations. That's all I'm gonna say. Nobody is perfect in these situations. This situation as a whole is hard to navigate through, but we should be able to have open dialogue regardless of the fact. And y'all should understand that the way that y'all have been trying to make it work ain't been working, baby. That's all I'm gonna say. And it starts with y'all letting these men off the hook for all of these broken homes. Neil was a classy side chick back in the day. She wasn't no Ariana Curry, but she was a side chick. They carried themselves differently. What I think people are not seeing is that Neil doesn't encourage Chris to have a relationship with Lexi. Thank you. I agree. First of all, what I would say is a woman shouldn't have to encourage anybody, another man to do anything. However, I agree. She doesn't encourage the relationship, which makes her the problem, that makes her the issue. That's it. If you don't encourage the relationship, you are the problem. Period. That resentful child becomes an adult if the parent doesn't step in as an adult and rectify it. I agree. Thank you. Thank you. Kids grow up to be adults. All Lexi wanted was to be treated like a part of the family. She wanted love from her father. Dang, I would feel the same way. Thank you. I don't understand why people, I really don't understand people. I truly, really don't. Baby, I want you to come in and you need to say something because I feel like people gonna think I'm just flying off the handle. Hold on. We got a super sticker. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to scroll all the way down. But thank you so much.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Damn.
Thank you, Katika, for the $2 super sticker. So hold on. Let me see what y'all are saying. Let me see what y'all are saying. Cause I see. Hold on. Y'all might be cussing me out down here. Okay. Oh, hey, happy mommy still in the chat. I'm gonna let you come up and cuss me out if you got to. Okay. Just hold on. Give me a second. She did contradict herself a lot. Okay. Oh, happy mommy. She's still in the chat. She gonna get in my ass eventually when I drop the link. Yes, speak on it. She shouldn't have to. That shows his character. I agree. She shouldn't have to encourage him to be a dad. That shows his character. Y'all don't understand. Oh my gosh, y'all do not. I want my man to come and speak so bad because y'all give these men too much grace. Okay, my husband have to step in for a lot of these rackety. Oh, I don't want to get. It's okay. It's okay, baby. You eat your food, baby. Eat your food. You're gonna be able to come up here and state your piece. But y'all be coping for these bums. And I just don't understand. I really don't. Journey to Jasmine, you need to come on up here too. Okay? Because you can put your input on this heavily. My bad. I gotta scroll up, y'all. I gotta scroll up. Hold on. Okay, so oh hey, happy mommy said I don't have experience on either side of the coin. So my opinion is not from experience and not emotion based. Okay. Oh hey, happy mommy. She gonna give us just her side of the coin, just not having any involvement in this experience. So okay, I'm gonna let you come on up here, but I'm gonna let you know, y'all, I'm very emotionally tied into this because I just feel like this is a problem. This is a problem. Okay, this is a forever issue, and not just our community, but a lot of communities. My grandpa would have never. Right. But going back to my husband really quick, like he had he just has had to step in so much when it comes to just the rearing of children and our family and our community. Right. The goalpost is always moved. Yes, the goalpost is always moved. But Latoya says these women today refuse to see these men are no good and will never hold them accountable for division of their families. They create two or more families thinking things will be good. That's the problem that I have. I don't understand how we have normalized these men being able to jump around in all of these different households and just leave it up to the woman to be able to figure out or dictate how things supposed to be maneuvered around. And y'all don't understand. If it's one of those things to where you have to encourage a man to be involved and around his children, and you still are attracted to him, at the end of the day, that says a lot about you. One thing I believe in, though, it's one thing for your significant other to be having a disagreement with his ex and or the mother of his child or whatever the case may be, and he's like, well, and he's being irrational. I still believe this is why women should not date men with children if you do not have the emotional capacity to take your emotions out of certain situations. Because I still believe, like, even in situations like that, it is your job to be able to encourage him to continue to stabilize his foundation, period. And why do we even want to be with men that don't have their foundation stabilized? So what I mean by that is, if you ever in a situation with a man and he has his ex over here who's still, crazy, out of control, going back and forth, tit for tat, there's a reason why that is. You shouldn't even want to involve yourself in a situation with a man that have all of that ruckus going on in the background. Truth be told, it shows a lack of value in yourself, in my opinion, that you would even wosy on around and involve yourself in that type of situation. It's too much conflict. You like stress, in my opinion. All the men in the world, and you want to go, and you want to go cozy up with a man that's still arguing with his baby mama, and he got a damn 6-month old. Already, you want to compete. So again, the problem starts with the men. The problem absolutely starts with the man. Okay, let me see what y'all saying. It needs to be stabilized before we start dating. If you're not active in your children's life, I can't mess with you. Thank you. That should already be what it is. We shouldn't even be dealing with men that aren't stabilized, because ultimately this is what it ends up being. You end up trying to compete to prove that you are a good stepmom, and ultimately, are you really? Because how good of a woman can you really be if you dealing with a man that don't have, that lacks foundation? You're not even operating in your highest state, because you over here, you on unstabilized grounds, babe. And you trying to say that this woman the issue, and you don't walked over here, and it was already unstabilized from the jump. So who really the problem? Who really the problem? So, and then I even just want to jump back when it comes to when it goes to the So Gucci situation, right? Because everybody likes to feel like they are these good parents, and really they have a certain energy toward these children. So apparently, when it comes to apparently Selena left JJ, okay? Or yeah, apparently Selena left JJ, and JJ still wanted to be with Selena. So Gucci waited around for JJ. Who the waiting around for JJ? So already, like, she felt some. I mean, all I'm gonna say is there's a certain level, there's a certain energy. There's a certain energy when your man has an obsession with his ex or whatever the case may be, and you're involved with him. There's a certain energy that women um build up, and it's resentment. So while y'all talking about Lexi is resentful to her father, which she has the right to have resentment for, y'all be having resentment for these men's children and their ex. Let's talk about that. Talking about she have resentment toward her father that didn't raise her. Duh. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Duh. That's normal. Do y'all understand that? Also, any woman who willingly gets involved with a man who has a mess like that going on is a bit delulu to me. I absolutely agree. That lady was all over the place. I feel I need a therapy session now. I'm confused. Are you talking about who was all over the place? I hope you wasn't talking about Lexi's mom. In my opinion, she came in clear. I have two brothers that did that with their sons and thought the children should reach out to them, and all they had to do was pay child support. I said, no, sir. The Right, like, you're the responsible adult. I don't know why we continue to allow men to feel like they can just go out, and let's stop acting like men don't have that mindset to where they feel like they Marceau's mindset. Y'all hear Marceau? "Oh, I'm just there, I'm just she's the mother. No, those are her kids. I'm just the father." There are plenty of men that have the mindset that they just give the women the kids. The women are supposed to take care of the children. Y'all gotta stop. Come on. The Fletchers should have told Lexi that they were going to use their family issues as a storyline. Instead, they told her business would be promoted. Right. The adult's responsibility to foster the relationship with their children by any means necessary. I agree. It's the adult's responsibility to foster relationship by any means necessary. And if you are a jealous ass, hating ass hoe, then you don't need to be in a relationship with a man that got kids. Why? Because he needs to make sure that his relationship with his children is solidified by any means necessary. So if that means you feel like you're not getting the time that you want, oh well, hoe. Like, that's why you shouldn't be dating men that got multiple children and multiple households, because he needs to be able to split his time up accordingly. So, y'all, I don't understand what the problem is. I really don't. Miss AKA said, I really like your energy. Thank you so much. There are some truths to Lexi's story. I feel like there are truths to everyone's story, but let me just hold on, y'all. Let me just pull this up because I really don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is. Okay. So so a complete stranger commented on Nell's Instagram and she says, I hope disrespectful Lexi wasn't there. Lexi's stepmother says, thank you for seeing that and not overlooking the disrespect. Stepmoms, where y'all at? I just want to ask y'all a question. Is this how you behave? Is this how you supposed to answer if you are a loving stepmother and you don't want it to be any confusion? Is this how you respond if you a loving stepmother and you know your stepdaughter have or feels left out or whatever the case may be? And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am not, before y'all be like, oh, you just emotionally drawn to this. I was not the stepdaughter that I was not the stepdaughter that was like left out. Okay. So don't ever get it twisted. I was the golden daughter to a narc. Okay. So the things for me are different. So don't ever feel like I understand where Lexi coming from as far as not having my daddy in my life because I was the golden child to a narcissist. So my daddy used me to get back at women, even his wife. My daddy used me to get back at his wife. My daddy's wife hated me. My daddy used me to get back at my mom. My daddy used me to get back at his side chick. My daddy used me. I was the golden child to a narc. So don't ever feel like I'm going this hard because, oh, my daddy didn't want me. My daddy is obsessed with me. That's the problem. Because I go hard. So I just wanted to clear that up because I know people gonna feel like, oh, you only feel this way because you probably what you went through with your daddy. No, y'all. I had the type of daddy that looked my stepmama in the eye and told her, well, my daddy is an evil ass person, okay? I'll just give y'all another story. Like, my daddy literally looked my jealous ass stepmama in the face and said, see, this what you want your body to look like. And then pointed at me and then told me, see, all the women want your body, don't you? And then looked at my stepmama and asked her, Don't you? And her ass looked at him and said, yeah. So I need y'all to understand, okay? My situation ain't Lexi's situation. My situation is similar to Lexi because my stepmom hated me because of him. Yes. I'm giving y'all examples. I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all the real. So don't ever get it twisted. My daddy used me to get back at other women. So instead of those women having enough decency and having the capacity to be an adult, they literally attacked me because of their wanting to be validated by him. He propped me up. He put me up on this pedestal, and I was always above them, which is why the only way that they would be happy was if I was not in the picture, which is what I am now. I'm not in the picture. Or else they would forever be competing with me, doing little weird, nasty, shisty shit to me. That's how I grew up. Somebody said your daddy was on some creepy mess. Y'all, I was a let's just say my daddy trained me since I was a kid. I was a very athletic person, and he trained me since I was a kid. So and I have big people in my family. And one of the things my narc used to always say is, you better not get fat. This was a big thing in my household. Don't get fat. And he did not play. Don't you get fat. You like, and he would just say, your frame, you're too small, you better not gain weight or whatever. And so that's just what it was. So when I got, let's say, I was probably about 16, 17 years old. He used to criticize me for not really working out as much as I used to when he would train me. And as a means to inspire me to continue to work out, he would say, you have the body that all the women want. You better not get fat. You have to maintain it. And I guess that was his way of, I don't know, trying to uplift me. But little did he know, he made that woman hate me. She literally hated me because he put me on a pedestal. So that's why she went off and had children with him and more children with him. So she could, I don't know, she wanted his attention so bad. So then what it became is, so then I used to try to hold my narc accountable for not stepping up for my siblings, because what he would do is always want to be around me and my husband, and we can do this, we can do that. And it was like, hold on now. You have to get your situation right with these other children. The reason why I was requiring that of my narc was because my siblings they started resenting me. And so my siblings like, hold on, ho, because why he doing that for you? Or why he calling you? Or why did y'all go here? Or why did y'all go there? And little did they know, we doing all of these things because I'm telling him, you need to get your shit together. I don't know what you got going on, but you all the way over here doing this, that, and the third, and you got all these other churn. You need to go do this with these churn. You need to go do these with these churn. This was always my conversation with my narc. You need to be better about this. You need to go and do this. I had to step in. I had to grow up, become an adult to try to convince this narc to be a better father to my siblings, y'all. Because the hoe that he married was comfortable with him being where he was. So when I get on this internet and I be cussing y'all ass out, understand that it's from a place of like I come from this. So while y'all be sitting up here trying to make these bums feel good by and you want to feel good by laying up with people that don't take care of their children, they're gonna do it to you and your kids too, ho. Because the shit is insane. How many people are willing to attack Lexi for growing up and having resentment toward a man that didn't take care of her like he should have, and not acknowledge the resentment of another woman and his damn blood child. Y'all are fucking weirdos. So anyways, so I had to grow up, become a woman, and I had to literally and at one point I realized he was doing it to get back at my mom. It all had everything to do with my mom still to this day. Why? Because those siblings are the most like her. I am the only one that is more like him. And he prides himself on that. And he used to always say, like, oh, I'm just so glad you're not like the others. I used to have to check his ass for that shit. So imagine if he telling me you're not like the others, what he's saying to that hoe when I'm not around. What he's saying about her kids when I'm not around. How he's comparing her kids and how they're growing up to when I'm not around. Because a legend has it, I was an advanced child. Remember that story I told y'all about the pamper? Rumor has it, those are problems they didn't have with me. So this is what narcs do. This is what men do. They triangulate women. And if y'all are going to continue to objectify yourself to being triangulated, then I'm just going to call you out on that, because ultimately this is the outcome of you allowing yourself to be triangulated. Their children grow up and have resentment and entitlement. Yes, that's the truth. Are they wrong? Who's more wrong? You having resentment for damn children, or the child growing up and being an adult and having resentment for the very people that are trying to gaslight her? So, yeah. And I keep going off on the tangent and not finishing my story. But yeah, the siblings, started creating a resentment toward me. I was trying to force him to be more involved with my siblings. It got to a point to where he announced, y'all, that he had a new damn baby on the way with this hoe, while we were trying to convince him to be more active to my other siblings. Mind you, he had a whole side baby and don't even acknowledge her. That one, I had to reach out to that one. I had to be the glue. I had to reach out to that one. I had to figure out what that one's problem was. Come to find out, that one just don't like none of us. It don't matter what you try to do. That one, the one who Mammy knew she was dealing with a man that was married with 4 kids, daughter had a problem with the originals. Ain't that something? Because her daddy, her pappy, don't want to acknowledge her and her mammy. Do y'all understand the chaos that be brewing when y'all allow these men to come out here and just do this stuff? Somebody said your story is needed. I'm gonna write a book. I really am. So boom, you try to reach out to all the siblings. All the siblings let you know, F you ho, because he like you, and I don't know why. Cause you always in trouble. Why he like you? And then he announces he having another baby. Mind you, at this point, we 22 years apart. Y'all can't make this shit up. 22 years apart. So now my narc is mad at me because I don't go around him in his new churn because he won't acknowledge my other siblings. You think that hoe is encouraging him to be more active with his kids? No, she's not. And that hoe brought so she got her own son. So so he had to take in her kid and gave her more kids. You think she encouraging him to reach out to my siblings? No. What type of person does that make her? I don't even care about a relationship with my narc because I don't want one. I want him to have a relationship with my siblings because that is important to me. But they don't care about those things because of ego. She wants to feel chosen. So, boom. Now I don't speak to my narc. And my siblings, I don't really speak to my siblings because they have a resentment toward me that they're going to have to get through without me. And once they get through it, we could communicate because I've done everything that I possibly can. But that doesn't mean I don't acknowledge their feelings because they are valid. This is what y'all fail to realize. Although I know all of these things, when they lash out, I understand that they are lashing out because they want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be acknowledged. So you have to acknowledge them and their pains because they're valid. They are owed that. Whether I have the same experience or not, at the very least, they are owed to be they are owed that. You should at the very least acknowledge them. Okay, y'all. So boom, y'all saying a lot down here. Y'all saying a lot down here. And I haven't really oops, I didn't mean to do that. And I haven't really gotten a chance to look at that. But let me just show y'all this one as well. Somebody said, did Lexi grace y'all with her positive presence? Crying emoji. Neil says, no, ma'am. Another one says, was Lexi crybaby ass there laughing out loud? Neil says, no, ma'am. Do that sound like somebody that is a loving stepmother? Y'all let me know. To me, that don't sound like anybody that's a loving stepmother. So I want to go ahead and let y'all come up here, but I want to do this because I want to play the interview. Do y'all want me to play the interview? I did ask Giving You the Real Tea if I can interview it. He said yes. So do y'all want me to play the interview? Because I can play the interview here and we can talk about it, and then I can bring y'all up and we can discuss it. Journey to Jasmine, I'm finna bring you up here. Let me see. Do y'all don't want to play it? No. Already watched it. Already watched it. Already watched it. Okay. Nope, y'all already watched it. Chris for the streets, but he know how to dress nice and smooth talk and do them. Yeah. Somebody said I watched it, but I don't mind watching it again. T did interview Lexi and her mom, which why I see through it. I already watched it. Okay, y'all already watched it. Do y'all want to come up here then and give y'all thoughts? Because I would love to really have an in-depth conversation with y'all about this. I've been waiting. I don't like talk. Y'all know I don't like opening up my panel now. Y'all know this. However, in my Kimmy. However, I do want to have an in-depth conversation when it comes to this. Okay, so y'all don't want to play it again. All right, I feel you. So, but I do want to have an in-depth conversation when it comes to this about y'all, specifically with people that have a difference of opinion. And I want y'all to be strong in y'all opinion because and stand in y'all opinion because it's important that we just share a difference of opinion. I want to just give y'all the perspective of a child growing up in this situation. And I don't want y'all to be fearful of my passion when it comes to this topic of I guess attacking or whatever the case may be. But I do want to have open dialogue. I want to have a good debate if one needs to happen. And I want to really unpack this because I don't understand y'all. I don't understand some of y'all. And I specifically want to leave the panel open right now. I want to leave it open to people that disagree with me right now, just in this moment. And I do want to, and then I want to bring, and then I want other people to come up here. But for right now, I want, first, I want Journey to Jasmine to come up here. So I want it to be me. If Journey is in here, because I don't know who's in here, y'all. I'm sorry. I just been Lil Pauletta. Hi, Miss Lil Pauletta and the gang is in here. Shout out to all the content creators that's in here. Sorry if I missed y'all, because I'm just ranting because y'all know this is my topic right here. But I do want y'all to come up in here if you disagree with me. If you disagree with me, I would love for you to come up in here and and be strong in your stance. Or if you are a step parent, I would like for you to come up here um that just have a difference of opinion. I would like for you to come up here because I just feel like this topic is just always swept under the rug and it needs to have some depth. So here I'm finna drop the link. First, let Journey come up here, y'all. This link is for Journey only. Okay? So don't use it. Journey only link is right here. And then y'all come in once Journey come on up here. However, she had a day of reckoning with her mom. All right, y'all, Journey up here. So here's the link. Hey, girl. Journey.
Hey girl, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can
Okay,
hear
I
you.
had to cut it off on the other screen. My bad. I don't necessarily agree with you. I mean, you know that we've talked about it. Well, not really in depth, but we've talked about our childhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I genuinely do believe that Lexi is the black sheep, and although I haven't fully watched this interview, I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I'm gonna do some commentary on it, but just from my purview and being the black sheep, being the only girl, being the oldest, being a one life path and all that, I just know how people tend to treat people like that
Mm-hmm.
and how they're the outcast, but it's not a self-imposed outcast. It's like she has now identified with that, and they were already beating up on her before, but now they're beating up on her because she's accepted that role. It's like, what more do you want from this girl?
Right, right, right,
You know,
right.
and I think a big problem is, and I said it in the chat, a lot of women are very male identified and misogynistic, and they do not even have the clue that they're like that. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
think they're women's women and all of that, and they are the furthest thing away from that. I In a society that literally teaches us to put away our autonomy as women, and then recognizes women as children. I mean, women literally just got rights, what, 50 to 70 years ago? But
Right,
before that, we're seen as children. Then add the layer of being black on it. When I mean, globally, black people were literally seen as property. If you go to Australia, they treated quote unquote black people as literal trees and plants. They were called flora and fauna. So you put those layers on top of her already being the black sheep, or the outside child, if you will, when she was not the outside child. Her parents were married,
right. I need
you
I
know.
need people to understand how they treat. I need people to understand the value that they lack in themselves, but based on the way that they treat other women, especially younger women,
Oh,
because whether people know it or not, believe it or not, the value that you place on these men, it speaks to the value you hold on yourself. There is not nothing in the world that should have y'all out here, you know, I guess allowing these men to get away with so much, especially because if we look at statistics, then we know a lot of you guys grew up without your father, so you know what that feeling is like. You know that you may even have resentment for an absent parent. So let's not act like this isn't an ongoing problem within our community. But I just want to push forward really quick because I do want to hear everybody's opinions. I really do want y'all to come up here if y'all have a difference of opinion, or if y'all are step parents and you just have a different understanding of this situation, because I want to have a open dialogue. Right now, we have all things Elena G. And I would like for you to, and I'm going to add you onto the stream. 1 second. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well.
Hi, Hot Tea and Journey to Jasmine. You girls are I love you and I love the way I love your content. I'm always
thank
watching you,
you.
so I appreciate what you are providing to those who think a certain way,
Hmm.
and who can analyze things a different and not look at things from an emotional standpoint all the time.
Hmm.
But I do want to add comment in here. So I am from So let me just say this. I'm 56 years old, right? I came from a broken family. So my stepdad is the one that raised me, but my actual father, I didn't come into his life until I was like 9 or 10 years old. And when I came into his life, um, I wasn't treated like, so I saw when I would go to his house and visit him, I didn't really start going to his home until maybe I was close to a teenager. And when I would go to his home, I was treated as if the only person that treated me with a lot of respect was my stepmom, which was his wife.
Mm.
Now, my mother also came from a broken home. So, my mother, what she saw was when she would go to her dad's home once he divorced her mother and went to and married someone else, she saw something totally.
Oh, I think you went out. Elena? Elena, I
Can
think,
you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. I think you went out a few
Okay,
seconds ago.
so let me do this. Let me take off my headset and
Mm-hmm.
just try to go from just talking via my iPad. One moment.
Okay.
Okay. So my mother, her stepmother was mean as hell. And I know this to be true because when we were born, and my grandfather had diabetes, legs were cut off, right? And so she had to take care of him. And when we would go to visit my grandfather, he would have to hide money under his mattress to give us money when we came over. So even when it came to my mom, and my mother was grown and had kids, and when we would go and visit him, she would go and take care of him, whatever. But that woman was mean as hell, like mean. However, with my dad didn't come into my life till I was a teenager, right? So I saw a different perspective from her, from my stepmom, right? But his parents they were like my mother's stepmom. They never owned me. They disowned me even until his death. Now my dad, he owned up to me, but he did not treat me like he did his other kids or the people that were in his house. And what I've noticed now that I am a mother, I am now a mother of 4 kids, right? 2 of them were my husband's children before marriage, and then we had 2 kids together. But what I learned from my mom was that those kids didn't ask to be here, so you have to treat them like you would treat your own. And I've always done that. I've always treated my step kids, and I don't call them my step, I call them all my kids. I always treated them like I want my kids to be.
Elena, you kind of went out again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. The part that you were on was you were saying that you wanted to treat your children like, or you wanted to treat them like your children.
I always wanted them to feel like I was gonna give them love, and that they never had to worry about whether or not I loved them or they were my real children. To this day, my stepdaughter, she's now 33 years old. She treats me and I treat her like she's my child. I have a daughter and a son by my husband, and my husband has a daughter and a son outside of the marriage, right? And even with his first wife, I knew that coming into this relationship, regardless of the relationship that my husband and his wife had, that I had to bridge the gap, and that I had to make her feel like no matter what, she was always going to be a part of our family, and that I was her mom when she was in my care. But I'm
glad that you said that, because that was going to be my next question. I was going to ask you, what is your relationship with your stepdaughter right now? And I feel like that's how you always know. In my opinion, and y'all get in the chat and correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I don't base women being good stepmothers based on them having stepsons. I'm sorry, y'all. And I always know if you truly a good stepmom if you have a stepdaughter, and if you have been able to maintain that relationship with your stepdaughter. And so the fact that, that is true, shouts out to you, because I do believe that not every woman is like this, but I do believe that there is a bulk majority of women that have the mindset that Neil has, and some of the other people that was in the chat speaking. And I just feel like, that's kind of problematic, and we kind of got to speak on it.
Yeah. So what I saw in a relationship that Neil has with her stepdaughter, I can see how her stepdaughter would feel like she's the black sheep of the family. You get what I'm saying? I can feel the tension. Mel did not, to me, this is my point of view. The child does not, she's got to feel, or he, she, whomever, I have to feel like when they are there, that they're the first number one priority. And I think what happens is there's already a dissension between the parents. The mother and the father, there's already an issue when they're no longer together, because it's hard for them to decipher their feelings versus their own, and it's their feelings versus the child's feelings. And the reason why I say that, a lot of times they are brought up in broken homes. Because, prime example, my husband's first wife, he and her did not split amicably, right? So we didn't even get to see my stepdaughter until she was, and I'm saying my stepdaughter because I want to be able to decipher the two. We didn't get to see her until she was 10 years old. And I mean, we went through a lot. When the whole time I was with him, pretty much, we went through a lot of court battles, right? And I knew that no matter what, I wanted our kids to have a relationship. Bottom line, this had nothing to do with his mother, had nothing with her mother, had nothing to do with my husband. Because I look at it that there's three parts to every story. There's his side, and there's her side, and there's the truth is somewhere in the middle. So he gave me his point of view. And what I did was I put in the effort to go and have a relationship with her mother, regardless. Now, what I did distinguish is when she's at my house, I'm going to treat your child like she is a part of our household. She doesn't have to call me mom because you will always be her mother.
I'm sorry. Thank you for that. I was back here chewing, y'all. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, but thank you for that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. I do appreciate you for sharing because it needs to be said. I don't necessarily want to, I guess, attack the stepmothers or anything like that, but I definitely want to make it clear, women that are okay with being in relationships with men that do not know how to stabilize their foundations, I'm going to call out. That's just my opinion. But let's move on because Hey Happy Mommy is in the building. She backstage, y'all.
And I apologize.
Here for hot
to y'all
tea.
too.
Oh yes, go ahead.
Hey, I apologize to y'all too. I am at work. I'm working from home, so my computer is going in and out as well. So that's on me. But I just wanted to say I appreciate you showing it from both sides and hearing everybody out, because everybody have their own perspective and they have their own circumstances that they've went through, which could eventually determine how they are going to treat the relationships, whether it be stepchildren or their own children. They're already dealing with their own traumas from their own livelihood.
Exactly.
And you have to be able to decipher what is right and what's wrong, and how to, that this is not a personal issue, but look at it from the perspective of the children. I never wanted, my kids are best of friends. I promise you, they are best of friends. And even if my husband and I have a disagreement, they don't get involved. They got their own, they are like, look, and they point out when there's toxic behavior, whether it be with us, their parents, or whatever, they point it out. And I made sure that no matter what, there was a relationship between my
Somebody said they both in the room, they gotta go.
I'm sorry, I apologize. But I just wanted to let you know, I made sure that there was a relationship between them all. I never tried to change what that looked like. But I appreciate you allowing me to speak.
No problem. I didn't mean to cut you off, Miss Elena. I thought my thing was muted. I was laughing because somebody in the chat had said their boss was in the room and they had to get off. They had to get off the live.
Okay.
So that just tipped me. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Y'all be blessed.
You as well. Here for hot tea.
Okay.
The last lady, Elena, was that who was speaking?
Yes.
Okay. She hit a point. She hit a point that it resonates with me. Because I don't, like, my parents are still married, but what I will say is the point that I was trying to get to is the fact that it's not just stepmothers. A lot of women, period, are very male identified, and they will pick that man over their own children, or they'll have jealous tendencies towards their own daughters. Especially, it resonates with daughters more than sons.
I was about to say, because even, once my mom survived, oh my gosh, hold on, y'all, my phone is typing. Stop. I'm sorry, but once my mom survived my narc dad, for a while she just, it's almost like she tried to find anything opposite of him. And in the midst, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to really. I told y'all I can write a book. I have stories for days, okay, on like my upbringing and why I feel so passionately about a lot of the topics that we speak about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Donna, I'm gonna go ahead and let you on up stage. Hi, Donna. How are you? Donna. Okay. Hey, girl. What's up? Oh, hey, happy mommy. What you got for me? And then somebody had asked, Keisha said, who did she interview with? She interviewed with Giving You the Real Tea.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. Hey.
Okay, so I'm not arguing the point of the fact that she had an issue with her father. That's not what I'm arguing. I agree that she probably truly did have an issue with her father, but her interview was not just about her father. She brought up so many different things about financial, materialistic items, and that is what she was mostly mad about, is that she didn't get that same treatment. But then in the interview, in the same breath, she said, well, Nell was over the finances and the money. So even if she wanted those things, that problem that she has with Nell, she should have been talking to her dad about. That's just me. Now, I don't have experience with, all the issues with step parents and stuff, but I will say that my grandmother died. And she was my step grandmother, but I didn't find that out until I was like 13, 14, right?
That's good. That means she loved you.
Yes, but my mom's mom passed away when she was younger. Well, recently, my mother came to me to tell me all of the horrible things that her when she with this woman who should be more of a mother.
Wait. Hold on. You breaking up a little bit. Did you say that recently your mom came to tell you that her stepmom wasn't as nice to her?
Right, and I didn't know these things, so that's why I said I don't really have an emotional connection to it because I didn't know about it. But she's my grandfather's only child, so apparently my grandfather has all sisters. So my aunts, they didn't play that. My great grandmother, she didn't play that. But whenever something would happen, my mom had that support system that would go to her aunts, and then those aunts would come and check my grandmother. My grandmother hated her because my mom had reinforcement. Now, what I will say, my grandfather, he's super laid back, the greatest dad ever to my mom, and the greatest grandfather. When he did find out things about her, according to my mom, he would go off on her and be so mad. Like, I guess when my mom, so she has children that they don't have together. And the one that she didn't like is the one that took care of her in her last days, her final days. My cousin, which is her grandson, he came and his girlfriend came to take care of my grandmother. And she said out loud in front of my grandfather, apparently, like, why is she here now? She can go. I don't need her anymore. And and her and my uncle, they both said like he went off. So like, I don't know that side, but now I know that there's evil stepmothers out there. I don't feel like Nell was that type of stepmother to her. I feel like she was upset. Like when you go to two different households, you may see things that your sibling have that you may not have at home. But again, I can say as a mother that maybe she felt like, well, maybe her mom is doing these things, or I don't want to overstep, So she may not have wanted to buy the first car because her, maybe she thought her mom was going to buy the first car, even though she said she gave her $21K. And I can say, like, I'm married. I have 4 daughters. They all have different personalities. And I have a child that's not by my husband.
Well, in the interview, she did say that Neil said that they're not getting her a car because they pay child support.
Yeah, but they gave her $21,000. Back in the day, she could have got her a Mercedes Benz with $21,000. If they gave her a check, she could have went and bought her own car.
So I guess my question to you is when Lexi goes over to the house and she see, you know, the kids with all of these other things, does that mean that should she not have them as well?
That doesn't mean that she shouldn't have those things, but that also means that she should have spoke up. She should have told her dad. Whenever my mother felt like she had a problem,
well, hold on, pause, because I don't want to make the assumption that she didn't speak up, because she said in the interview that she did, and what they would say is, ask your mom because we pay child support. The reason why I guess the only reason why I could remember that is because that was also something that my narc used. Wait, hold on, there's some feedback. But I think that was also something that my narc used when speaking with some of my siblings. It was always, well, I pay child support, so, you know, ask your mom. But, you know, you just literally bought another woman's kid a car, or another man's son a car. So,
well, I just have to say this. I'm not really sure about all that, but I know that I have a daughter that is much older than my other children that I have with my husband. And there is times of where she doesn't feel left out or anything, because my husband is not like that at all. But there is times where I'm like, okay, well, let me step back. And my husband is the same way as a stepdad. I don't want to teach her how to drive if her dad's going to teach her how to drive. So then he will communicate. Now, there must have been some miscommunication between the two women for it to even be in her 30s of going on like this. Like there's some between.
Why is it a miscommunication between the two women?
Because
I don't know. I guess in this entire thing, I feel like
why is she so upset in her 30s? Why is her mother coming and speaking on a relationship and she's married to a whole nother man? Why? Like, I couldn't even imagine sitting behind my daughter talking about her dad in an interview when she's in her 35 years old.
Well, her mom said, hold on, let me just butt in really quick, because her mom said that she is only coming to speak. First, given the real tea, had asked if she wanted to come in. She came in, but she said that she would respond on it because she didn't think that they would treat her daughter like that. When they first got on the show, she said that she was excited about it.
Yeah, but Lex on the show, Lexi was the one that was so upset though. Like, I feel like if they really had so much malice about her, why would they put her on a public platform for thousands of people to see in order to treat her terrible? They are trying to mash it. Like, when she stated that they sent her gifts and then she sent it back, like, come on now, like, she has some stake in this. She's 30. You have some stake. Why are you sending gifts back that's for your children? That it just doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like there's on both sides. She's a grown woman now. Like, they either need to go to therapy or she just needs to rethink things, because
hold on, let me intervene because you are the same person that said that she's materialistic. So if she's materialistic, don't you think she probably would have kept the gifts? In my opinion, what I got from the interview was the fact that they don't call her or her children. They haven't seen her children since 2022. And then they sent her gifts. They didn't call, they didn't do anything, but they did send gifts. I mean, if she was a materialistic person, then, you know, I don't know. I'm not understanding where I guess I'm not understanding what y'all point is as far as saying that she's resentful, as if she's not obligated to have resentment. I'm not understanding where everybody has all of the, I guess issue with Lexi, but not her actual father.
It
When
goes back to my
Lexi
point.
made it very clear that her daddy, that she never even spent any time around her daddy alone.
Mhm.
As a man, who doesn't take individual time with their children? Who needs to be, I guess, coerced or manipulated into, or I guess encouraged into having alone time with your child? So go ahead, hey, oh, hey, happy mommy, because you support my channel, but I'm just interested to hear your thoughts on that aspect of it, because I look at it like this: if if your if your husband, left you or whatnot, got remarried or whatever the case may be, it's not your daughter's job or your son's job to reach out to him and make sure that they are continuing a relationship, especially considering that he moved on, when hold on, I gotta mute you because it's feedback. But especially because he moved on when Lexi was a kid. So in my opinion, hold on, y'all, I just posted it. Go. So my bad. Oh, hey, happy mommy. Y'all know I got the attention span of a fly. But do you see what I'm trying to say?
And that part I agree with wholeheartedly. I agree with the part of him not reaching out to her. That part I agree with. There is portions in her story of where she is speaking. And so when you speak of the materialistic items of the children, I don't even include that in because it wasn't for her. But when she's coming on, she's talking about, oh, she showed me on her designer. And then I told her that I wanted a Chanel bag because my middle name was like.
Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. I'm actually glad you brought that in. I'm glad you brought that up, because that stood out to me too. The reason why that stood out to me is because, so y'all are going to take it as it being materialistic. I think what Lexi was trying to explain was the fact that Nell does certain things to get under her skin. What I took it to be as though somebody said, "Speaker, you are out of order." She okay, Shirley. We all be out of order at times. But I would just say that I took it as Lexi trying to say that Nell, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I took it as Lexi trying to say that Nell was I guess throwing stuff in her face. I took it as Lexi having a conversation with Nell and telling her, certain things that she liked. And when Lexi got over to her house, instead of them having conversations about personal things like what's going on, how's the kids, this, that, and the third, you got me upstairs in the closet showing me your designer. I don't know. That's how I took it. I took it as though Lexi was basically saying that Nell kind of throws stuff in her face and taunts her. It to me, it didn't have anything to do with the Chanel, but more of the fact that she had expressed to her that she liked Chanel, and I don't know. But go ahead. I'll let you go ahead and elaborate and finish the point on that, because I know I cut you off.
Okay, so yeah, so how I just, that's like me showing my daughter all my designer stuff, pulling my children in to show them, like, how she's probably like, oh, well, you like Chanel, let me show you my Chanel collection. Like, I don't even feel like it could have been, like, I feel like she was already hurt, so anything that Nell does, she's gonna take any and everything that Nell does, she's gonna take offense to. Now, I'm not saying that Nell could have been she was the best step parent, but I'm just saying, like, it sounds like the things that she's talking about as a 30-year-old woman, and it sounds like we're the same age. Like, I just can't even fathom of sitting with my daughter who's 16 and even talking about those things with her, because as a mother, guess what? If she's feeling some type of way, me and my husband, we already told her whatever you want or need, you're getting. So,
well, I guess you can't fathom it because you haven't been in the situation. So you say that if it was your daughter, whatever she wants, you and your husband, you're going to get it. However, let's just say at the time, Lexi mother and her husband couldn't provide her with those luxuries because they didn't have as much money as them. You get what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah, so
know.
you talk to your children. If that's the case, you have a conversation with your children. You may not be able to get everything, but let me get you something else that you may really love. Like, I feel like my daughter doesn't walk around with jealousy or resentment of anything because of the way I raise her. So it doesn't even matter what's going on at the other household because she's fully loved in my household. She doesn't have resentment of what's going on because my daughter my husband feels those shoes so well as her father that she does not even have the anxiety or thought process of her father. Like, she looks at both of them equally as her dad.
Mm-hmm.
So that, like, my husband's here and he
Okay, wait. I do want to intervene. So your daughter dad is in her life.
yes.
Okay, that is a difference, babe. I not babe. I'm sorry, because I think that's the difference.
No, wait a second, because I'm
That's
90%
the point that's being missed.
I'm 90% private, so he's not even as active. So he's probably the same amount as Lexi. Okay, I don't even mean to put my business out there like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's just that he's probably not there all the way. But does he take care of her when she asks? Yes. Okay, so it's probably the same as Lexi, but she doesn't have those feelings because my husband is stepping up to the plate. He's filling in those. She doesn't have that resentment. She's like, okay, mom. We talk about it. She's like, I may feel some type of way. I feel some type of way, and we'll talk through her feelings. And then on the back end, of course, I'm going off, right? I'm going off. Why you do this, and that? So I understand Lexi from that point of view, but I'm just not understanding why at 30 something years old she's still feeling this way. Like, the ball has dropped on all sides. Because
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I'm not gonna say why at 30 years old is she still feeling this way. She's feeling this way obviously because her father didn't comfort her, didn't provide her with any type of security. And I think that at the end of the day, despite because
why does this girl not allow her feelings? That's what's blowing me.
Right, because I think because I'm gonna mute you really quick because the feedback. But I think at the end of the day, I think she's valid to feel the way that she feels. And then on top of that, they bring their story on television on a national platform that's obviously going to strike up more emotion, especially when you don't talk about the problems in its totality. So I'm not going to say why is she still feeling this way after 30 years old, because even though you try to allow, even though you push your daughter to be her best self, there could still be inconsistencies as she get older in life. You are only coming from this perspective because, like I said, or like you said, you don't have a, I forgot what the slogan is, but you don't have a dog in this fight. I think
skin in the game, dog in the fight.
You don't have skin in the game. You don't have a dog in this fight. And you actually don't even have any understanding of the experience. So I would even say until you've been in the experience, because you can't even speak for your daughter. You can say what it is that you're going to do for your daughter to make sure she feels this and to make sure she feels that. But at the end of the day, there will always be a void for people if there is an absent father. And if that absent father then goes along to build an entirely different family, it doesn't matter how whole you can be within your household. I feel like sometimes there is still going to be that question, why wasn't I good enough? Or, why didn't you want to involve me, or etc. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So when you make the point of, oh, why is she still feeling this way after 30? I think that's a mute point, because I mean, that's borderline saying, after a certain age, you're supposed to not experience your traumas.
I agree.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, we could agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I'm listening to her. It sounds like a teenager. Like, oh well, they didn't get a car. They didn't get. So that's my point. It's
Because
like,
I
is she
feel like
really?
she is a traumatized. She's traumatized. Like that's where when you pay attention to people's traumas, or when they start speaking on their traumas, they're going to speak from the place in which the trauma existed. So if you feel like she sounds like a traumatized teenager, it's because that is where the trauma stems from. If you feel like even when we talk about Mel's baby mama, a lot of the times when he sounds like a fucking traumatized child. Why? Because that's where his trauma stems from. He was neglected by his mother, and she had basically abandoned him and basically put other men before him. And every single time he speaks, as far as people protecting him, it always sounds like a broken child. So I don't know. I guess I just understand it from that standpoint. When people speak on their traumas, they're always coming from that place in which they're speaking of. However, we had this back and
But
forth for quite some time. Oh, go ahead.
I,
Who's
that's
going?
the thing with both of them. They both speak from a place of trauma, but it also comes off as entitled.
Okay.
So that's
okay.
like him and her. And I'm not, and in no means am I saying Chris is off the hook. Okay, so I don't want y'all eating me up in the chat because I know
Well,
y'all
because that's
are.
really what I want to
Every
speak
time I
on.
get
I don't
involved,
want to speak on because that's what I want. I want more of your thoughts on Chris, because I don't want to. It seems as though we disagree when it comes to Lexi, and that's okay. I'm gonna let that ride. But I want us to focus on like the actual adulting of this situation and the actual root of the problem, or where it stemmed from. And in my opinion, I feel like that's with all the parents. So
yeah,
before I because I'm gonna add somebody else up here, but I'm not gonna drop you down unless you want to leave, because I do feel like you're opposing us. So it's nice to have an opposing person up here. But
well, I want to say
go
this
ahead.
one thing about Chris. Now, I feel like from how she's feeling now at 30, he is definitely not emotionally attached to this child at all.
Nope.
Like, not attached to her at all. Because
I
the
agree.
way that it sounds like she's just like a hurt child. Like she's entitled, and she is entitled to this man. But then she's putting the blame off on her siblings and everybody, and that is where I draw the line. Like, you should be upset with the two parents, which is Nick and Chris, yes. But to throw your mixed up and throwing out your stepbrothers, oh, he had a sister. None of that really matters. You should be talking about your parents. Like everybody else doesn't. Nobody's saying that none of these children are perfect. I didn't see them say that on the show. They didn't say they're perfect. And when it comes to Chris, I just feel like he's just a regular terrible man. He's like, if this is how she's feeling, this is the truth. Aside from my opinion, if what she's saying is the absolute truth, then he's just another Martell. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He's just as terrible as Martell, in my opinion, and he's worse because at least Martell, I guess, trying to be there for his children. I don't feel like the mom was bitter. I don't know what this comment is. I didn't say that nothing about the mom. I don't feel like the mom is bitter. I personally, as a mom, I wouldn't even be sitting behind my child.
I think they just talking in the chat.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be sitting behind my child talking about this situation because as a mom, I'm taking care of it.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on. I want to try to get somebody else up here too to share their opinion. If you want to drop down, you can, but I do I want to let somebody else come up here because I do want to bring you back up here if you want to share your thoughts. Hi, Miss Carly T.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Honey, busting at the seams to get up here. Y'all got me taking notes and everything. So
I heard you. I saw you over there in the private chat.
Yes. Okay. So I have a 20-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she is basically in the same situation as Lexi. Her daddy, me and him were married for 10 years. And I know that this is kind of a moot point, but isn't Chris Fletcher a Kappa?
He sure is.
Okay, so my ex-husband was too. And he was a perfect father the first 8 years of my daughter's life. I decided I wanted a divorce after about 11 years in, and he replaced me within 9 months, which is cool because when the new stepmother came into the picture, we were getting put out of our home. He had basically bought me out of my house, so we were getting put out, and
Uh-oh, you breaking up? Miss Carly T.
can you
Hold
can you hear
on.
me now? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
I can't hear you now, but if it do it again, drop out and come back in.
I sure will. So in the beginning, she was doing everything with my daughter. They were spending a lot of time together, going to the movies, and I actually really liked the woman in the beginning. Well, a situation happened where my ex-husband was basically trying to buy her children while he turned his back on his own. Four
Mm.
months into his new marriage, he got a side chick pregnant, right? And bring on the little side baby. Well, that's neither here nor there, but with my daughter, her friend had stolen a jacket off of the new wife, and she blamed my daughter for it. And I felt like I had kind of given her free reign to be whatever type of stepmother she wanted to be. And that was a time where her and, my ex should have set my daughter down and talked to her, taught her, that was a teachable moment. And instead, she stopped speaking to my daughter. And this went on.
Uh-oh. All right, it did it again. Drop down and come back up. like drop out the chat and come back. Yeah. Okay, Miss Donna, you back. Let's see, is your thing gonna work?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm totally fanning out, young lady. Let me tell you. Let me close the door. My dog is.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Oh, hey, happy mommy. Thank you for dropping in. Okay,
Okay.
Miss Donna. Hi.
All right. So I've been listening to you for a long time. My 22-year-old turned me onto YouTube so a while ago, and I have been like addicted. And I really
Oh.
enjoy your commentary, the cussing and all. Girl, you are a woman after my own heart. So
Thank
let me
you.
just say this. I did watch the interview this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I have 3 children, 36, 34, and 23. And I have 3 grandchildren. I'm also a daughter of a deadbeat dad. My dad was not in my life for most of my life. I would see him off and on every now and again. And I know that he was not accountable to me because his family never held him accountable for anything. And his children just fell in line. He would pop in and out and think he was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I was angry. And I met my sister at 23. She was 23 also. I learned about her in high school. A friend of mine was a friend of hers, and she said, "Your sister told me to tell you hi. I'm my mother's only child." So that blew me away. So anyway, that's the level of deadbeatness that my dad had. So having said all of that, when I saw him at 23, at that time, I realized how much his absence had a negative impact on my life, and I was angry. So I read him his rights. I had that moment where a lot of kids who grow up without their parents, you kind of have that come to me Jesus with them, right? And I got it all off my chest, but I was still angry. And as a mom, I realized that just like the trauma from not having a dad in my life, the trauma of some of the other things that I experienced in my childhood and as an adult as well, I needed help. So I went to therapy. I took my ass to therapy because, in my opinion, on the backside of therapy and doing the work, because anybody can sit in a session, but if you're not doing the work, and therapy is hard. But in hindsight, what I realized is that holding on to that resentment is like me drinking poison and expecting you to die. And I had children to raise, and I wanted to do that in a healthy way, especially since I divorced my oldest two, their dad, and I did everything that I could because we were living in separate states. I had to move back home, and I did everything that I could to encourage him to maintain the relationship, because if he severed it, it would be very difficult to come back. Well, he was mad at me. So he was like Mel's baby mama in the sense that he was a narcissist and an asshole, and he thought not interacting with the kids was hurting me. But what I didn't do, and this is where I take offense, to Lexi's mom, even as the kids grew up, I had conversations with them about my relationship with their dad. so that they can understand, the split and all of that stuff. But I did it within the confines of a therapy session so that we could all grow. And I can't stress therapy enough. Mental health matters. And because if you don't, and I was one of the ones who said at Lexi's big age, she's 32 and she's a mother herself. At some point, she has to build a bridge, because that resentment, it just keeps you in a dark place. It's toxic energy. And so I'm not saying that Chris doesn't deserve all that she feels. He does. He dropped the ball, not Nell, Chris, because Chris is her father. And how dare he hide behind some woman or any other
Okay,
man that will hide behind.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Miss Donna. 1 second.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of people that feel like Lexi contradicted herself. And I want y'all to come up here and tell me. Because Miss Pauletta feels like that as well. Okay, go ahead, Miss Donna.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, Chris is all wrong. If what she's saying is true, then he's dead ass wrong, and it is his fault. However, how long are you gonna be mad, sweetie? How long are you gonna be walking around angry? Because it takes energy to do that. And so my thing is, if what she's saying is true, then I get it. But at some point, she has to understand that she can only control herself.
Hey, Chef Dun Dun. Thanks for stopping in.
That's just my perspective. I think that at some point, she's old enough now. And listen, before I sat on the live YouTube interview with my daughter, I'd have took her ass to therapy, because that's where that conversation needs to be had. There's no growth in that, because when they pop out the YouTube, they still left with problems. Where's the damn solution? And how is she raising her kids? I know she's married now, but what happens if they divorce? Is she going to take that same energy to her children so that it might run their dad away? Because that does happen. I have a son with kids. I have grandchildren. And it's been like hell dealing with this. Some of these females. I don't know who's raising them. And my son fought.
Oh, now. Whoa.
I said it. And I'm a female. But let me just tell you, we can't count on these guys.
Right, hold on, because I do want to pause. I already know where it goes when we use the term female, because as a woman, I like, that is such a cringe word. Like,
why?
Oh, we're females. I am not I'm a woman.
Okay.
Because there's
I hear you.
levels to it. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Feel like already when they're females, you already dehumanize.
I didn't mean it like that.
Because anybody can be anybody can be.
I didn't mean it like that.
I understand. I understand that. I'm just
I hear what you're saying.
Context to why it is that we feel that way.
I hear you.
So some of these. Now moving on. Hold on, because I gotta pause you really quick, Miss Donna. I gotta pause you really quick, but I'm gonna let you go on, okay? I'm gonna let you go off on me if you agree. My thing is, though, because we talking about, we don't know who raising the girls, but who's raising the boys? Because
when
at the end of the day, like, in my opinion, that's where the issue lies. We speak about who's raising the girls, but who's raising the kids as a whole? Women are alone. When we speak about, who's raising the girls, probably the same people that are raising the problematic boys, and that's the women. We need to speak about the roots at hand, and that's what Miss Shirley is saying right here. And then that's my opinion. It's the men in totality as a whole, because like she said, everybody got a lot of smoke for Lexi, but when people come up here, they don't start with what the root of the issue is, and I believe that's Chris.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I didn't say that Chris wasn't the issue. As a matter of fact, I said he's dead ass wrong. But my thing is this: Chris is the problem. I think Lexi deserves a life that is free of that anger, resentment, and toxicity, because I am proof. As a woman who grew up as a child that grew up without her dad and is now a woman, I set myself free. I forgave my dad. He didn't deserve my forgiveness. I forgave my abuser. He didn't deserve my forgiveness. But before I was able to work through my stuff and get to this point, I was miserable. I don't know if you've ever been around anybody who's just heavy. It's heavy, and it's not fair.
And I gotta pause one more time. I'm sorry, but Kimmy says, how can anyone be a female? I'm old school. I don't understand the new gender situation going on out here. Is it bad? I'm not saying anyone can be female. I'm saying anything can be a female. Like, a cat, a dog, a lion, a plant,
Exactly.
female, you know what I'm saying? Female.
Can I
When
Yes.
we're
elaborate on that a
speaking
little
about
bit?
humans, it's, women, men, girl, boy.
Facts. And
It's just about it's about the overall context of it. It dehumanizes you. That's
mhm.
it.
And
I understand.
if you've been paying attention to any of the gender discussions out here, you would want to stay away from that, because the manosphere uses that to dehumanize us as people. And like I said at the outset, the reason why people cannot see Lexi and just humanize her is because women and children are not seen as humans. And using the word female only exacerbates that. So I would admonish a lot of you all as women to take a look at that and see how much of your rhetoric, revolves around your male centeredness.
Well,
And
let me say
also,
this.
Kimmy says, agrees with you, Miss Donna. She says, I think Miss Donna is saying that we always have obstacles or triggering people and events, but when we do reclaim our life and happiness.
When
And
do we
I
reclaim it?
agree
That's all I'm
that
saying.
is what she's saying. I agree with you. I agree, Miss Donna. That is what she's saying. Kimmy, yes, that is what she's saying. But what I'm trying to say is, I guess that it starts with people not creating dysfunction and chaos to where people have to learn
Absolutely.
how to reclaim their life.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you, which is why I was I exercised open and honest communication with my children, so that we could, not only did I talk to them, but I listened and I allowed them to talk to me. Let me just say that parenting does not come with a manual. We're all human and subject to human error. We do the most of us, I would like to think, do the best that we can. Some of us do. I know I did. Having done my level best, I know that there were some things that I got wrong. And I listened to my children. I offered them therapy. I offered them counseling, whatever it is that they felt like they need to become their best selves in spite of. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not absolving Chris or any other man of their responsibilities, because you're absolutely right. I don't disagree with you on that part. My issue is that I just want this young lady to reclaim herself, her life, and to forgive, not because he deserves forgiveness, but because it will liberate her. That's it. And also, let me just say this, and I'm going to drop down to
Mm-hmm.
you and Journey with Jasmine. You all taught me something, because I am an older woman. So I'm not in the gender conversations. I know it's something that I need to be up to speed on. I'm out of the workforce, but I do have grandchildren, and I live in this world. And so when I said female, it wasn't to dehumanize. Let me just say that wasn't my intent.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying that wasn't my intent, but you all have taught me something. And I think, hey, it was a great teachable moment, and I will be mindful going forward. So I appreciate you ladies for that. But yeah, I think that whatever the problem is, and that doesn't mean that we ignore that there's a problem. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that at 30 plus years of age, you have to take accountability for yourself and get to a solution that makes you whole. If she never sees Chris another day in her life, I want that baby to be happy, because she deserves it. This is not her fault. She didn't ask for any of this, but there is a way that she can work through her emotions, her feelings, and learn to know that there's nothing wrong with her. She is fine. She will always be the child in that relationship. She didn't do anything wrong, but fuck him.
I feel
And,
you.
and you know what I'm saying? Because at some point you got to get past it. Because if not, she'll be sitting on her front porch in her rocking chair, still bitching about her dad. He'll be gone. He's over here for all intents and purposes. Maybe he's living his best life. He's unbothered. That just means that he's a piece of shit. But you don't have to drag yourself down because he's fucked up. That's all I'm saying. Just get to a solution so that we can all be happier, healthier, and raise healthier children, because
I
that's what's really
understand.
important.
I guess I understand what you're trying to say, but I think the solution starts like it's her process. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It
maybe
is.
it took for her to do the interview because I feel like she felt relieved even expressing what she had to say on the interview. So maybe over time, maybe maybe even 5 to 7 years from now, like we'll see them all come together again. Like, I just think that a lot of times, even still, it's you gotta just walk away when certain things put you in a place to where you are uncomfortable or
Mhm.
you are still just very much affected by it, you just got to be able to walk away. And yeah,
You're
Lexi got
you're
to
right.
reset herself and
A-
just figure out what's best for her. Do she
And
want to walk
and to
away?
that point,
Want to work it out? If they don't want to work it out, she got to keep it moving and
there you
work
go.
on the healing process. But she says she's been in therapy for a while.
Yeah, you know what? And I was just thinking, I don't know what her therapy process is like, and I hope at some point the light bulb comes on for her. But about her going to their house when she said she never had dinners at their house and all of that, all I'm saying is when you're in pain, if you're an addict, you don't go to the crack house. If you're an alcoholic, you don't go to the bar. I am not. I'm so unclear on why she went into that space, knowing that it was
Because
triggering.
I would tell you why. Because there's always going to be hope. Period. There are you're always going to hope that the situation is a lot better or is going to be able to heal or they're going to be able to see you. You're always going to hope that they will see you, but it just doesn't pan out that way. And I think that's just what it is. That's what we saw.
Yeah, in my experience, and
Instead of
again,
blaming her for putting herself in that situation because she was hoping for a better outcome, then I mean, because when we saw the episode, we saw her trying to interact with the family. That's what I saw. Nell is the one that told her to shut up.
I'm not blaming her at all. All I'm saying is knowing that she's been in therapy for a while, and again, everybody's journey is different. And I am well into my 50s now, almost 60 years old, and I started therapy at 24. And I've been in therapy since then because life is a journey. And all I'm saying is once you work past needing to be seen, needing to be understood, looking for hope. Because once you heal, that's no longer a desire in your heart. You've moved on. Now, I reconciled with my dad when I was 49, 45. And for the first time in 45 years, he finally remembered my birthday on my birthday. But I could not have done that until I was at a place of healing. And so I guess if I was to say anything to anybody out there that, at some point, you just got to take care of yourself, whatever that means to you. So thank you for having me come up.
No
I'll sit
problem.
back. I'm going
Thank
to drop
you.
down and enjoy your content. You guys are amazing. And let me just tell you, I'm so excited for all the young people, especially that have an opportunity like you guys have. Like I said, I'm well into my 50s and I learn something new from y'all every day. And here for Hot Tea, keep cussing, girl. I've never commented on a public forum in my life. You brought me out of the bushes. So
Thank
you
you.
ladies
Thank
take
you.
care, be well, train the best for you guys always.
You as
Thank
well,
you.
dear.
Be safe.
All
I
right.
appreciate you.
Sure thing. Bye-bye. Now tell me, how do I disconnect? Because this is new.
I'll remove you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh wait, she already okay. Okay, y'all. So let me read some of these comments because Miss Shirley is down there on y'all ass. Okay. I'm telling you, I love y'all. I really do. Y'all can express yourselves, okay? As long as y'all allow me to express myself, okay? And we just gonna have to agree to disagree on some of this. And I agree with one of the commenters, but we'll get to it. So Just Jules said, then at some point Lexi herself needs to do the same thing and not make things worse. Right. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all want the child to be more adult than the adults because Miss Nail was literally on Instagram throwing shade at her stepdaughter. But yes, Lexi is in therapy, but we're not seeing that it's helping. We would have a better perspective by now. I don't know. Y'all would say I'm not in therapy. Bitch, I come on here and call a bitch a hoe every day. And I still got more sins than a lot of folks, so I don't know. After the episode aired, I saw a lot of comments in chat slamming Lexi's mom. I'm glad I heard what she had to say. Me too. I forgave my dad and then he admitted he was wrong. I didn't need it at that point, but I appreciated it. And now we're super tight. Giving good grace is good for you. I agree. Like, I mean, I love my dad my mom. I love them to pieces, but at the very end of the day, I don't necessarily like my daddy and don't want to be around him. But I don't know. I don't know. Chris maybe not be a narc. He might just be misogynistic. A narc and misogynistic people are two different things. My daddy is a narc. A narc, you gotta completely disconnect, run away. Kimmy says, oh wait. Oh wait. Kimmy says that's a fact, just hard because no one is perfect. We may think we are doing great, but it may not be to others. It's hard. I agree. I agree, which is always why I say people think they're doing the very best they can. And if somebody or if your kids express to you that you didn't, or their experience or their perspective is different, rather than lash out, just acknowledge them so everybody can move forward. And then don't tell them how many times they should talk about it. Like, either just acknowledge them so y'all can move forward. The worst thing you can do is tell them that how they felt was not legit. And then here comes Miss Shirley on y'all ass. She says so much anger towards Lexi and her mother. Shake my head. And then she says, stop embarrassing yourself. Oh my gosh. July Leo babe says, hey y'all. I can see both sides. I lived it and I'm still living it. We are all doing the best that we can. If people don't believe it, I agree. I feel for Lexi, but I still saw the contradictions and I can't unsee it. What are the contradictions? Y'all go ahead and let's talk. Let's talk about the contradictions. Please tell me what the contradictions are. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. I really appreciate it.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Damn.
Okay, so the comment says, so true. My daughter, dad says she's a child, not a human. Myself and her counselor is teaching her otherwise. She's 16. She's a human first, right?
Exactly.
Why would he say she's a child, not a human?
Because that's how these men be out here thinking, and he's just bold enough to say it.
That's crazy. But anyways, okay, let me get my husband to go ahead and comment his thoughts on this situation. And before we call anybody else up here. So hold on, y'all. Give me a quick second. So we are currently at this moment talking about Lexi and the Fletchers. The Fletcher, this step parent situation. Lexi is Chris' eldest daughter, and he was married to her mother for 2 years. They had got a divorce, but they had known each other throughout high school or whatever. They was each other's high school sweetheart. They got a divorce because Chris was a cheating asshole. She found out that in that process that he was communicating with Nell, which is his current wife right now. She ended up sitting down with Nell Fletcher and having a conversation with her and letting her know that he was a cheating asshole, this, that, and the third, or whatever. And so as time went on, you know, Nell just never ended up leaving the picture. And at the time Nell had came into Lexi's life, Nell had a son. Lexi was 11 months or so, and so was Nell's son. And Lexi feels like Lexi said that she hasn't been around the family ever. She hasn't been around her daddy like one-on-one, like ever. She came around her daddy for real when he was like, well, hold on, let me see what y'all said. Oh, hey y'all. And Journey, jump in if I'm missing anything. But she came around the daddy or whatever, and he was just never really active. When they would buy their kids something, like the other kids that lived in the household, she would say, oh, I want one. And they would say, oh, okay, well, you know, I pay child support, so ask your mom They had bought their other kids cars, but they didn't really buy her a car. But they eventually ended up giving her $21,000. And people just seems to think that she's jealous, she's entitled, she is bitter, and she is resentful. And I feel like she has the right to feel entitled. She has the right to be resentful toward her dad because he didn't really raise her. She's a human. She has the right to have emotions about that. She was a child and then she grew up into an adult. I was explaining it to them prior in this live, like, this is what happens when children have these emotions and then they grow up. As children, they don't necessarily know how to contextualize them or articulate them, but once they grow into adults, time grows, adults don't step in, and adults and people have resentment, people have feelings, people lash out, etc. So yeah. And a lot of people seem to feel like, and just before I go ahead and let you speak, a lot of people seem to feel like Lexi is the problem. That's just my opinion, and I just don't like that they feel that way, when I feel like the problem is all of the adults.
I agree. The issue primarily is Corey and Nell in this situation.
His name not Corey.
What's his name?
Chris.
Chris, excuse me.
You know Chris.
I know Chris Fletcher.
The one that be dancing.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Chris Fletcher, dark skinned dude, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So the issue is primarily Chris and Nell in this situation. I say that, and mostly Chris, because you're the one who's creating all this discourse in these two women's lives. Like, the fact that your current wife has to approach your side chick to let her know that you are a cheater and that you have a whole family behind you is despicable. Secondly, the fact that you've neglected this girl for the entirety of her life and didn't take any initiative to try to, put some perspective or try to just be in her life in some shape, way, or form. So I don't understand how.
That's what I'm telling him. Like, he should have at the very least been consistently communicating with her, calling her, like, because she stay in Nashville, they stay in Alabama.
So now you've created abandonment issues for this young woman.
I don't know. People always blame the daughter or the kid.
I don't understand how you can blame the kid. The kid did not create the circumstances that they were born into. The child did not create the living circumstances of the dynamic between the mother and father. So how can you sit there with your adult brain and start to point blame at a child, a kid that didn't ask to be here, didn't choose their scenario, but you're upset at them for reacting to their scenario with their adult brain?
So my thing is, and a lot of people feel like Nell didn't encourage Chris to be active.
And that's why I said that some of the fault falls on Nell, because if you are an advocate of a healthy situation vis-a-vis your marriage and your husband having a family previous to you, you should be all for facilitating the smoothness of that relationship. If you really, really have genuine intentions at heart, it shouldn't be about showing more favoritism to the kids that you and your new husband have created in your family.
She didn't have kids with him at the time.
She didn't have, so she had her
Lexi
own.
was his only daughter. She had her own son.
Okay, got you. So with the own son, I'm assuming that. So the son got spoiled, but the daughter got neglected. Is that
exactly?
They ended up having kids.
They did, and all those kids got taken care of thoroughly, but Lexi is the one who's alienated. Yeah, that's not right. That's flawed up and down. And it's flawed on Nell's behalf for not encouraging her husband to be more active in his daughter's life.
Well, why the fuck she gotta encourage an ugly ass man to be in his kid's life? She
does not, but if she's discouraging it, she's not being of any help at either. I don't seem like she cares either way. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Maybe not for the sake of his relationship, but just who you are as a person. It says a lot about who she is. If she's a lot just sitting there on the sidelines watching.
Because I would be grossed out. Like, I would be disgusted.
Yeah. Why would you stay for that? Even that's another question. Like, that would be something you would judge a man by.
You know that.
For sure. Because I know men like that.
Y'all, I remember one time my husband had asked, okay, there was this one dude that we knew, and he was like in the NBA, or what did he do? Don't get too much. He like played basketball overseas. And so anytime he would come to town, he would always like call my husband, and he would try to like hang out and stuff. So we would hang out with him. And so I started to realize that like he had kids. And so like I was like, he got kids. And it was a shocker to me because he didn't seem like he had kids. And so I can remember my husband asking him. My husband was like, "Hey, where your kids be at?" And then he was like, "Oh, one of them be." He was like, "One of them be with their mama. One of them live all the way over here." And then the other one, what was the other one? Oh, and then the other one was somewhere in the state that we were in, but wasn't with him. And I could remember my husband like, "Oh, nah." Like, and then we were supposed to hang out with him that day. We never spoke to him again. Like, oh my gosh. I just thought that was...
And more men need to be like that.
Right, but the reason why it was so funny is because at that, we was taking care of like 4 different kids, like keeping up the slack, picking up the slack of like 4 different kids in like our family. And we were getting to see how kids reacted when parents were absent. And like what ended up happening was like we just were so disgusted that people could create these beings and just disappear because they were so cool. Like they were like actually individuals. They had personalities, and we played a part in their life, and it was fun, and we liked it. So when their parents would just, or their allegedly dads would disappear, it was just so heartbreaking because we saw the children have a reaction to that, and we had to try to counter it with activities like, oh my gosh, y'all don't understand. And so that's why we grew a great disdain for men that just walk away from their kids, because we got a chance to see how that affects kids, y'all. And not even from my perspective. I'm talking about like, have y'all ever seen a child want their parent? It is the most, I'm even getting sad thinking about it. Y'all, not from even my perspective. Like to look at a small child want their parent is the most heartbreaking thing I have ever experienced, especially when it's nothing you can do about it. Especially you, like I can't make this bum come to this realization, this game that I paid for. Yeah. I can book the lift. I can go pick him up. I could go try to help him as much as I can, but he has to want to get in the car. You get what I'm saying? And it's just so unfortunate seeing. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. I just wanted to share that with y'all. And really quick, because I know Journey has something to say, and then we gotta add Bravo, Addiction, and Miss Carly T back up. I have a super sticker. Thank you so much. Nisi, it says, nothing to add, just approaching you beautifully talented queens and Mr. Thank you. I appreciate
it. It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Damn.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. Let me see what y'all saying. Yeah, I call her contradictions over and over again. Okay, y'all said the contradictions. Hold on, did y'all put the contradictions in here? Yeah, Jasmine, if you want to go ahead and add something. Or wait, were you done talking, sweetie?
Oh, yeah, I was done.
Okay, yeah.
No, more so, all I really had to say was, hopefully y'all hearing it from a male's perspective, it may sink in more because, what y'all saying really just goes right back to the original point. Why are we not putting this on Chris? Like, there's plenty of men who can juggle multiple households. And when I say juggle multiple households, I don't mean in a deadbeat kind of way. I mean, in a hey, y'all first relationship broke up, but it doesn't stop you from being there for your own child. Your own child. Like I think about my dad. Um, he only has three biological children, but there are so many people in our community that call him dad because he
Mhm.
was able to be that person for so many people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so how this man can't be that person for his own daughter is really beyond me. And I think a lot of the women that agree or align, or not even more so agree with Chris, or just want to take up for Nell, or just want to demonize what's her name, Kiki, or no, the cousin's name is Kiki. What Lexi? They want to demonize Lexi is because
And
again,
Miss Shirley, I don't know who you were asking how many kids did dude have. We ain't got no kids.
oh, they might be talking about. She might be talking about the dude that y'all was giving the example of.
Oh, yeah. Not Chris, the person we was giving an example of. No, he didn't have that many kids. I'm saying we have family members and those family members have children. So that family member didn't have 5 kids. I'm saying that family member could have had 2 kids. The other family member have one. The other family member have one, like that.
Yeah, but
Household.
anyway, it's just
Right.
kind of crazy not to take care of your own offspring.
Oh, the basketball player friend. Yeah, he had like how many kids?
Four.
He had 4 kids,
Ugh,
y'all.
Me and him
how
like
many baby
Man,
mamas?
younger than me actually.
yeah, but he younger than my husband, and so that means he like around my age. And then he had how many baby mamas? Like 3 baby mamas.
Yeah, three
Oh my
baby mamas,
god,
4 kids.
3 baby mamas, 4 kids.
that's disgusting.
Yeah, cut bro out.
Oh, let me stop. Somebody, mama might be on here.
Man,
Ah!
it's just crazy,
Let me
man.
stop.
Like,
Nah. But anyways, okay, go ahead.
cool.
No, Miss Carly T, you're in. Bravo Addiction, you're in, and Jasmine to Journey. My bad if you want to continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you,
I meant Journey to Jasmine.
no, you, y'all be killing me saying my name. With my name is Jess. Y'all crazy, man. But no, I was just saying this. Just it's kind of weird how men don't have that natural inclination. Well, some men, or let me even say this: it's believed that men don't have a natural inclination to take care of their children. I
Mm.
believe, I more so believe that society has instilled this into men that they don't have to be the one to step up. But I, just from my own experience, if it was, I don't feel like I would have gotten a lot of nurturing if it wasn't for my dad, because my mom was in her own world, for real. And then it wasn't like nothing crazy. It's just she had stuff that she hadn't dealt with. Like a previous caller had said, a lot of times these women have things that they have not dealt with, and men, but people have things that they have not dealt with in their own childhoods and their own teenage years, past this, that, and third, and they don't see how it spills into how they parent and how they interact with other people. And I think that's where it really needs to start. It needs, of course, start with Chris, but in this, I feel like Lexi needs to be given a whole lot more grace than people are willing to give her, because it's like, what do y'all expect from this girl? It's not about the, yes, she is mentioning the material things. However, those are just, in essence,
Examples.
they're examples or they're reflections of the love that she feels that she is not getting from her father. She perceives those gifts or those, those trinkets that he's bestowing upon the other children as an act of love. Because in many times that is how they show their love, through finances. So her not getting that or her having to beg for that feels like I can't speak for her, but in observing her, it just feels like she's not receiving the same love because she has to beg for her material goods, whereas the other kids, they just get it,
Right.
carte blanche.
All those trinkets are basically just manifested examples, just outright examples of the things he's doing for the other kids and not her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's that she's materialistic at all really, because you could kind of tell that she seems more down to earth. Now, having been married to a Kappa, that they are a type. There is a type of man, and Chris falls under that type that is arrogant. They think they're God's gift to the world, and they don't do any wrong. And it's all about image. They want to
Hotels
put
are
out the image that they have this perfect family. And I have put myself, my daughters in Lexi's situation, to have to see them come on TV fronting like they're this perfect family, and you on the sidelines, wishing and hoping, and it's just not fair. That she didn't ask to be here, like your husband said. She didn't ask to be here.
Yeah, go ahead. Who wanted to jump in? Somebody was about to jump in and speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could hear me all this time. I have to leave in a few minutes, but congratulations on your 1-year YouTube anniversary. Yay.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. I love your show. I love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh. I just love when you come up with something. I said, oh, let me hear what she has to say, because it's going to be real and the truth. So I watched the interview, and of course I've been watching the show. Actually, Love and Marriage Huntsville is what brought me over to OWN. For reality TV wise. When my mom was alive, we used to watch the other scripted shows, on Lexi is expressing her feelings, and they encompass a lot of things, and they're complicated. There's not one specific thing that is triggering her right now, because she said for 3 years they were getting along. She went to the dinner and they started talking about her mom. Who's been the most dependent parent in her life through all of this? Her mother. They started talking about her mother. That means all bets are off the table. You've been an absentee dad, running the streets, hoeing. Nell left you for 2 years or whatever, came back. The house was in discord. When you come home, you don't come home to Lexi. You come home to Nell and your son that you had before you and Nell got together, and the 2 children that you had together. When you come home, where is Lexi? Lexi's in Nashville. Lexi's in Tennessee. She's not there. She's not there. So all of this affected her. When you went after her mom at that dinner that she was lied to about being about her, talking about her business, you triggered her. And so I don't care how old she is. When you went after the one thing that meant more to her in the world besides her children, you triggered her. And so what? She's been in therapy for since she was 14. She's in whole life therapy. What he's doing and what he has done has affected her whole life. She may be in therapy for the rest of her life until she feels like she's ready to leave it. Good for her. I don't understand why no one is saying, look, it's her way of healing. Let her have her way of healing. Yes, she should speak out. Yes, she should do an interview, because on the TV show, when everybody saw how she was reacting, everybody went after Lexi. Mm-hmm. So she has a right. If they can use the show to show their side of the story, she has a right to use an interview to say her side and to say how she felt. And her mother was very gracious, actually. She could have went in. I would have went in. Look what you did to my daughter. I would have been nice about it. She said I was upset when my daughter came home upset. My daughter is 38. Let somebody mistreat her. I would be upset. I would be pissed off. Now, I may react differently than Lexi's mom because I don't play that. But I'm saying this to say, let her have her moment. Let her have her say. It doesn't matter if she's mad about the gifts. It doesn't matter if she's mad if she got along with them for 3 years. Was she saying, I got along with them for 3 years? She did not say we were all like kumbaya. She said, I got along with them for 3 years. So she was opening more space for them when they invited her to be on the show. Oh, now they failing. Okay, we've been getting along for 3 years. This is the next step. Oh, hell no. I'm here and you're talking about my mama. Y'all lost your effing minds. And yes, I'm cursing all of you out as I leave. And that's it. That's it. And then you're going to go off on social media and talk about me and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to say my one piece. And that's what she said. I'm saying this. I'm never going to be on that show ever. And I don't want to hear from them again. Whether that changes, which is what my hope is down the line, that there's some reconciliation, which I think should be initiated by Chris in a sincere way and a validation of Lexi's feelings, his daughter, because he's the father who started all this shit by running out on her mama and then running out on Nell and not providing stability in his own household for Lexi to come visit. You know, there are other types of households where there's co-parenting, where the kids can go to each house and feel like it's okay. How safe is she feeling in a household when Nell's trying to chase down her husband in the streets? What safety is there for her? So yeah, she's probably feeling some kind of way still, and she has a right to. Somebody needs to talk to Chris. Leave Lexi alone. Let her have her moment. Let her be angry. Let her be fucking mad.
I feel you. The conversation needs to definitely be about Chris.
It absolutely does. I'm 54. I've seen it all. And there's no way that anybody here should be saying that Lexi, she should be this and she should be that. Okay? It's still going on. It's still happening. She was there. She was ready to move forward. She was, and guess what? She got it slammed in her face on TV in a national audience. What worse is that? And who is it about? The one parent that has been a consistent parent in her life. Come on now. How is she supposed to react? How is she supposed to feel? We didn't know about that. We didn't know they were talking about her mama. And even though I didn't know they were talking about her mama, I could see there was something going on, that this woman is that mad. And then people are saying she needs to get a life. She does. She has a husband. She has 2 kids. She has a business. She has a life. Her life is being affected by her father in a negative way. That's why she's in therapy. I don't mean to clap.
And nobody's even talking about the fact that, you know, he's missing out on a life with his grandchildren. How would that make his grandchildren feel growing up?
And guess what? It's out there now. They're going to see. Oh, this is what you did to my grandma? Oh, hell no. You did this to my mama? I'm going to have to think about you for a minute. I'm going to have to, step back for a minute. So what he's doing is a ripple effect that's going to affect the grandchildren too. And I don't care when it started. It continued. It was a continuance of mental anguish and abuse by her father. Abuse is with neglect and disdain and ignoring her. That's mental fucking abuse.
We witnessed it on national TV with our own eyes. TV. He said F off.
Mm-hmm.
I wish my daddy would talk to me like that.
They treat her like she's a
daughter. I don't know. I'm not in the same situation, so but I know I would never say
See,
that
I
to my
don't know,
daughter.
y'all. I don't know, y'all. See, I'm not a I could tell y'all stories for days. Like there was one time where I feel like everybody have contemplated off in their self or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. And I'm gonna just be real with y'all. Like I do think Lexi is super super emotional.
Yeah.
But again, who am I to say how somebody should take something? Because I'm gonna tell y'all, one day,
Right.
I was arguing with my narc, and it was like a very heated argument, and I could just remember I was like going in my room, I was finna arch my eyebrows, I was like, forget this, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just how I coped with him at the time. I
Mm-hmm.
ignored him, and then I got into beauty. That's how I got into beauty, because I was just always just so I had always so much anxiety. So I would just lock myself in my room and
Right.
just play and makeup or whatnot. So I was going to do my eyebrows so I could, or whatever. And I could just remember like, my narc storming into my room, and he was like, yeah. And if you want to commit, offing yourself,
Yeah.
you should take it and drive it up your arm, not to the side.
Oh
Are you
God.
serious?
So
Wow.
I can tell y'all, but okay, so boom, everybody would say, "Are you serious?" Da, 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 da. So that's what I'm saying. Like that built character, right? Because people would people would be like, "Oh my gosh," and at the time, I didn't, and at the time I didn't view it as a tough thing. I had to, I guess, speak to people, and I guess get to a place to where I felt comfortable expressing certain things, for people to be like, that is not okay. And I'm like, well, it built character.
Okay.
So when y'all say things like, oh well, Chris told her, oh well, fuck F off. Yeah, I'll go off of that.
It also gave you strength.
Right.
It did.
But is that the strength that I needed?
Right.
Come on.
Right. In this world, honey, we need all the strength
Is that the
we can
strength
get.
that I asked for?
Right.
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 Well, can we?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was watching the interview, and anybody who truly knows me, my friends and family, I'm very empathetic, and because of the things that I have done, advocated for, worked for, and all that, I cannot stand when people say that the parent is absolved because the child is an adult.
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. But the parent can go through all kinds of trauma, bring up their trauma all the time, but if you're their child, you're not allowed to have it no more. It just doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous.
So somebody said, just Jules said, but what kind of character did that build? And that is an appropriate question, and that's still the question that I have to go through every day, right? Because that, again, I would have preferred for it to not build my character. but again, I guess that's just me kind of that is me accepting my personality and where it stems from. When you go through certain levels of therapy, you start to realize, like, I react to certain things because of certain triggers. Right. And when I say, I guess I felt like that maybe have built character, is because there are things that people can say to me that truly cannot move me at all, which is maybe and I feel like, had I not had some of the things that I had growing up, or some of the things said to me growing up, then I would be a lot more emotional than I am today, because regardless, I'm an extremely emotional person. So right. I don't know, y'all.
I get that. for me, I grew
I
up
just
in
try to look at it. I just try to look at the
right,
other side of it, basically.
right. I mean, I totally get that. I grew up in people don't know that Virginia was extremely racist. I grew up in Germany, and then we came to Virginia, and I was called the N word at school, everywhere. I mean, we would see the
I
Klan
believe
marching through streets.
that's where the tiki
Girl,
torch
I'm
lights
from
live.
Kentucky, so I really
You know
know.
what I'm talking about,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
You
That's
know,
what.
Kentucky
you would
is.
hear about people being, in trees. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say too much on
Mhm.
YouTube channel, but so and we would have to have the talk. You have to understand that you're just hated.
So
And
smart
I'm
and
just like,
sassy
what?
says,
You
smart
know?
and sassy says, I'm just looking at all angles. Shit is just off to me. So many, or I guess she was trying to say so many unanswered questions. I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm saying there are some non-truths going around.
I
Well, when
mean,
we gonna chew on Nell? Cause I feel like
Come on.
Miss
right?
Nell, like if you truly love a man, you're gonna accept everything that comes with that man with open arms. You're gonna want to nurture and love it and have that love you for him. So to me, I'm looking at her sideways, especially the way she handled her on the show when she was like, "Shut the." It was that was
It
Yes.
was
just
it
doing
was
the
it was
most.
horrid.
Disgusting.
It
Right,
was
it really
horrid.
was.
And then
So
to know what the conversation was previous to that, and then to top it all off, we find out that, this isn't a one incident thing. This was a pattern with him. So you've been chasing
mm,
him down in the streets. Ain't no
Oh
way.
my
mm,
gosh,
mm,
Just
mm,
Jules said something. She said, this actually resonates with me so much. She says, exactly, accepting where it came from and how it's a part of you now, but that probably isn't your most natural self. You get what I'm saying? I absolutely do understand exactly what you're saying.
Right.
One of the things that I always claim when I'm with my husband is when me and him came together, I was able to meet a reset. This was really just before me and him met, but like when me and him like really solidified things, like I was able to truly rest in this. And by that I mean even before I met him, I was just at a softer space in life. I was just at a more happier angle. So this alter ego that y'all see on the internet, like this is who I was growing up. My more natural state, my more natural self is a lot more relaxed and calm and um just whole, I feel.
Mhm.
And I picked up a lot of this of what you guys see me demonstrate online from having to learn these defense mechanisms. And, this is just how the things that I've had to learn in order to mask myself, if that makes any sense.
well,
Growing
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think that people. I mean, I recently, not recently, but a year ago, when my mom died, my sister and I, just from hearing from people from our past that had affected us in negative ways, not to go into detail. Me and my older sister, I have more than one sister. It triggered us, and I mean, it was traumatizing. And I'm 54. I'm 54. I've been in the military. I've had a marriage. I have a daughter. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I can't do this right now. I wasn't sleeping. I hadn't started sleeping until last month when I got real sick. And my body just shut down from, I got sick from some nasty relative during the holidays. Anyway, and my body shut down, so that I had literally started sleeping more than 3 hours since my mom died last month.
Mm.
I'm so sorry.
54. Leave Lexi alone.
the
Let her
short
do her. Leave her alone. She needed to. if this is helping her to heal, to do this interview, let her heal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Because the
Let her
short.
heal. Thank you, Lexi, for sharing the truth and in your truth. That's her truth. All those elements are her truth. She should have been in counseling since she was 14. She should have started when she was 3, when the mess started.
Yeah, because the short and skinny of it all is, if you don't manage the feelings when they're happening, where are they supposed to go?
I know. I had to call my counselor I had from 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
To say, you know what? I'm not sleeping. My anxiety has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so y'all need to understand, as Lexi is sharing her story, this is like with anything. Everything was not bad over the time span of her being, she what, 30 what?
2.
32 years old.
Exactly.
Everything wasn't bad in 32 years, y'all. Y'all have to be able to not operate on the surface. And it's just like me. I can sit here and share these experiences with y'all, but I can wholeheartedly say it was not like every day of the day to day was not bad. But I need y'all to operate from that understanding and knowing that. Like, even when people say, even when, people share their stories about growing up with their abusers, every day wasn't like that.
Bad.
That doesn't like most days were.
You should hear some of the stories I heard.
So if they were able to operate, you know what I'm saying, and meet each other, whatever, that is what it is. Like, I can tell y'all stories. My parents were able to meet or whatever for a good time span. That don't mean throughout that those years they were meeting, they wasn't arguing at the meetup.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that who's to say that through that time they was driving to meet halfway, that they didn't have arguments, that they didn't have, bickering moments or whatever the case may be. You just never know. That's not what she's saying. What she's saying is telling is the parts of her story that actually changed her, or the parts or where her trauma starts.
Lexi is crying out, like just screaming out to a brick wall. Because Chris is just dancing away on TikTok, like everything's perfect. And she has to witness all this. And just knowing that he's ignoring her feelings. They both seem to be like brick walls and ignoring her, shutting her out.
They are really not, to me, I would appreciate them more if they admit their fallacies.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, there is no person.
I'm sorry, I want to cut you off one more time, because just Jewel said, but y'all also talk about your traumas differently. She was trying to be vindictive and angry, whereas you tell it as a matter of fact in an empathetic way. And here's what I'll say to that. I was not always like this. You understand that?
Yes, it comes with maturity.
Or I never spoke ill of my parents, or maybe I have when I was angry. Who knows? But because I was an angry child at one point. So that's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. I guess I understand it because there are levels to this shit, okay? There are ups and downs you're going to go through forever. But as far as the angry part of it, at some point you heal past that, to where when you do have your ups and downs, it's just like the emotional roller coasters of it all, not so much anger. But Lexi has not yet gotten to a place to where she has come whole with the situation. Y'all also have to understand she was just at their house, just last year. When I speak, I haven't spoken to these people in quite some time. So there was time and room in order for me to dissolve that anger that I had. But I was very angry for a long time. And the only thing people would do is judge me. It was always, here she comes.
Oh my God.
It's always, she always got something to say. She always got it was always that. So I need y'all to understand, like, that's how my family feels about me or felt about me at one point. It was always people just were so annoyed by my mere presence. One, because I was angry and I was lashing out. And two, I was hurt. I wasn't being heard. I wasn't being seen. But like one of the callers said, at some point you have to be able to come to senses. You have to be able to come whole with yourself and understand, regardless of anything, it's not you. But if you continue to show your ass every single time you get around these people that say you are the problem, it's going to remain you. And the best thing you
Right.
can do is isolate yourself, focus on yourself, and grow past it, which is what I chose to do. And then I wanted to involve, get around them again, but they couldn't see me for my changed behavior. And you guys can ask my husband. What it became was they would start to laugh at who I was trying to grow myself into.
Oh my
So
goodness.
certain things, instead of reacting or lashing out like how y'all see me on here, because I don't know y'all, right? So I would say, bye,
Right.
like, who gives a, you know what I'm saying? And but with my family, I wanted them to kind of like understand like where I was. So, but it would be, you always want to lecture, or you always talk, you talk too much. So it's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. At
Yeah,
first I was angry. Now I'm trying to explain to you and be thoughtful about explaining how I feel. And now you're saying I'm lecturing. So then it became, okay, I just have to remove myself. And even that was just a big weight lifted off of my shoulders, and I've been able to elevate, or whatever the case may be. So I understand everybody's points, but I want y'all to understand that Lexi deserves grace in order to get there and process the emotions, because it truly takes time. It's not the easiest thing to do because everybody's upbringing is different. I maybe have been able to process differently because I had more of an I guess relationship with my dad than Lexi had. But I will say that Lexi reminds me of one of my siblings, the way she lashes out and she's just ready to disconnect completely rather than kind of truly work through and talk through her emotions as a whole. So, and I guess I feel like, one more last thing, I guess I feel like I can operate with that much grace because I can put myself in her shoes. And that's what I want for y'all. I want
yes.
y'all to
Yes.
be able to remove yourself
Mhm.
out of the equation and
Mhm.
put yourself in other people's shoes, which is
Yes.
what I've always tried to tell y'all on my platform. That's what it is with Mel. That's what it is with
Mhm.
Lexi. And
Mhm.
that's just always been my only point.
I
Yes.
truly think that Nell during those times,
Yes, everybody do have issues, Momo.
I think she was trying to hang on to whatever semblance of normalcy she could. Nell, and when and it's terrible because I'm not going to say too much, but I've seen these situations before when the stepchild that is away comes in, it causes a disruption in whatever kind of normalcy that you're trying to create in your chaos. Nels was in chaos trying to create normalcy, and then here comes another factor.
Well,
It's a shame of all the things that affected Lexi that were out of her control, that she had nothing to do with.
can I
You
ask a
know,
question? So, didn't Nell come into the relationship with a son?
she did. Yes,
So,
she
how did
did.
he acclimate into the family?
Because they were stationary. Lexi was coming from
Oh,
another area.
gotcha.
And
Yeah,
that's
sometimes
horrible. And
too.
see, for me, I'm like, I'm the type of person. Oh, Lexi's coming. Okay, so we need to
Right.
get her this. We need to get her
Yes.
this. She told me the last time she wanted this. I'm a celebrator. I'm a Leo. I want you to
Yes.
celebrate. So
Yes.
this is another reason for me to celebrate.
So
And
somebody
I
said,
have
Miss,
literally seen women who literally do that with their stepchildren. Is
Yeah,
that
they be
their
jealous
stepchildren come?
too.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yes,
So,
that
I
and
mean,
that's another.
it's
That's also how I felt too. But Miss Pauletta said I definitely put myself in her shoes. I'm very empathetic. I believe
oh
that
wow.
because when you come on the lives, you can be pretty objective. But I will say that as far as to your point, I don't know which one of you guys make that point. It was like when the woman came into my father's life, she had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And what was so heartbreaking to me is that, and I'm going to tell this story because this is what I don't understand and this is what I don't respect about this person, is that she witnessed her kid cry and sob at the absence of his father. And 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 like I could just remember even being there and trying to help as far as his feelings would go because his dad would say he was coming and never show up. So you
Yeah.
saw your kid experience that.
Right.
Well, in my daughter's situation, she had to witness the new wife bring her children in and her father try to buy them. Like she would call him and he would be in Chicago at a Bulls game with the son. And my daughter's like, he
Mm.
ain't never took me out of town. But the tee hee hee of it all is when we were divorcing to try to hurt me, he tried to take her from me. But
That
then
sounds like Brian McKnight.
this woman
Ooh.
comes in the picture and he divorces my daughter too. He don't just divorce me, he divorced her too.
Mm.
So she has tried for the 10 years they've been married. She goes around them and she shows the wife so much respect. And I could tell Kaden she just wants her to like her.
Mm.
And the woman just will not come down off of her high horse
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So my daughter is in a situation where she's watching her father now play granddaddy to the step grandchildren. And she's over there like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still
Wow.
here.
Ooh,
So
that sounds like
yeah.
my papa.
But that's what I was saying to the other person. I think, oh hey, happy mommy. She was like, oh, but people they always have hope. They always
Mm-hmm.
when you always
Mm-hmm.
have hope, you kind of set yourself up. So that was
Yes.
just my whole point. Oh hey, happy mommy.
Right.
People
Hey,
always they always
who's
have
that?
hope.
Is that just Jules? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I have seen step parents who made an effort to make the child feel welcome, not to
Yes.
make the other children feel like they weren't being included. They didn't go to that extreme. They were just trying to make the stepchild feel welcome when they came for their weekend or something like that. Just
Mm-hmm.
small things. They weren't just including their own children. The
Right.
own children just understood and wanted to participate. If you have a way of communicating with children that is real and honest and tell
Mm-hmm.
them the situation, what's going on, they'll definitely understand.
Yeah. Well,
Children aren't dumb.
my daughter's stepmom had been in her life from the age of 8. And so to me, that was a perfect time for her to, acclimate into my daughter's life
Right.
and vice versa. And my daughter was so open. At first, she was taking her to the movies, getting her nails done. And I started liking the chick. But then, like I said, an incident happened where her friend took a jacket and the jacket was returned and my daughter was chastised on my end, but instead
Mm.
of her father and the new wife setting her down and having a conversation with her and dealing with her like that, the wife just stopped talking to her, having anything to do with her at all.
This
And
is
there's a story behind the jacket. He bought the jacket for the wife and her daughters. When Victoria's Secret Pink first came out, she
yeah.
wanted a pink jacket so bad. He bought one for his new wife and her 2 daughters. He said she was too young to have anything from Victoria's Secret. Well, long story short, that jacket, it just bothered her so bad. At the time, she was about maybe 10 or 11 years old. Her and her friend went over there, and the friend went in and stole the jacket. So, stole the jacket for her. So, long story short, the jacket was returned. I gave her the business on my end, but instead of them handling her like, father and stepmother, she treated her like another bitch on the street and just stopped having anything to do with her.
Wow.
And then my daughter got hit by a car coming home from prom at 15 and was in the hospital. And here the new wife come dressed to the nines every day with no job. I don't know where she was going, but she would come in there and like try to, pet my daughter's hand and just act like she cared, not realizing we all know how you treat her. So don't come in here being fake now.
So
But
just Jewel said, so why can't Nell get grace for being young and not knowing how to fully handle the situation?
Didn't we say that?
I would say because she got on Instagram and was still being petty.
At this
I
age.
agree.
That's the only reason why. All right, y'all. But I think that concludes this live. I think that
Yeah, I've been
live.
stalling about going. And
it
I've
was
been
nice
getting the
talking to
side
you,
eye
lady.
from him upstairs.
Likewise.
So thank you so much. Congratulations. Love y'all.
Love you,
Thank
girl.
you, Clarity.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate
Journey
you
to
for joining.
Jasmine. I'm going to run out of here. Well, I got to go get dressed. I got to go get ready. I messed this up, but I'm going to try to fix it. Love y'all.
We love you back.
All right. Bye-bye.
We are.
I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for your time and your ear. It was nice talking to you ladies. And H4HT, that's what I call you. Keep doing your thing, girl.
Thank you. I
killing it.
I
Keep your foot on Martell and that ugly heifer's neck. Keep it down because you do your thing, girl.
Thank you so much.
It's nice to finally talk to you. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
You as well. And like I said, thank you again. Thank you so much for bringing me up. I appreciate you letting me speak up on your platform, girl.
Thank you. Oh, hey, happy mommy for joining. I appreciate everybody, even though, we got difference of opinions. I appreciate y'all for, standing on y'all. Speak your truth, what you believe, your opinion, your thoughts. Y'all know I have my 1-year anniversary is coming up, and my 1-year anniversary is, when is it? February the 23rd, y'all. I'm not gonna be dropping merch on February the 23rd. It's gonna be a little bit after February the 23rd. So y'all stay tuned for that. I appreciate everybody for joining me, and thanks for not taking my comments back and calling me a hoe. Nah. I mean, this was the live for y'all to come on up here and tell me how you feel. I didn't feel any, I didn't feel any type of way about anybody's comments. I just think, I agree to disagree. We're going to have to agree to disagree on some topics. And I am willing to be a little bit open with y'all about certain topics because I understand that I am very opinionated and I have very strong opinions about certain topics. And y'all probably want to know why I feel the way that I feel about certain things. So I just try to give y'all a little bit of insight on why I feel so why I feel so heavily about certain topics. I can't blame anyone wasn't there, but some of us were saying you can't dwell on the past. We want her to be happy by finding a way to heal. I agree. She definitely can't dwell on the past, but I do feel like there are steps to it and there's levels to it. And she got to just take her steps to get there. And if one of those steps are just freely expressing herself, I feel like she should go for it. Freely express yourself. Get it out. Say any and everything that it is that you need to say. That's just how I feel. Get it out. Let it be that. We've never heard her side of the story. This was her first time giving her side. So if this is what she wanted to do, that's what, that's what it is. She should feel obligated to do that. And I'm not necessarily because Chris and Neil, they spoke on it. I think they did an interview and they spoke on the Lexi situation as well. So yeah. Somebody said, yeah, this gave me more insight about you for real. Well, Just Jewel said, yeah, this gave me more insight about you for sure. I think you might be a softie at heart with a quick wit. That's it. I am very soft. I'm very, very soft, but a lot of my hard exterior stems from my upbringing. I had to kind of I posted this funny video on my Instagram story maybe like a week or so ago, and it was like, do it look like I'm scared of you? And then this girl was moving her hand like in a karate, well, not karate motion, but she was like moving her hand or showing her hand to see if it was shaking. And then the topic was, or the comment was, I've been texting my daddy's side chicks since I was a kid, telling them to stay away from my family. I thought that was funny, but yeah, a lot of my hardness just comes from my upbringing. But at the root of it, I do think I'm a softie. I'm a softie. But yeah, when I troll people, this is why when I first started my platform, trolling people, when people would come on my platform and they would say stupid stuff, I would just troll them and we would have this ongoing back and forth, because it boosts my analytics, but two, it doesn't bother me. People be saying certain stuff and I'll be like, girl. Like this one person came over here talking crap, and then I responded to her. I think I was like, girl, your mammy ought to be ashamed. And I don't know what I said, y'all. I just be saying stuff. And she went around everywhere in the world. Oh my gosh, H4HT talked about my mother. Shut your ass up. You shouldn't have brought your ass over here talking shit and then want to go out. Oh, H4HT talked about my mother. Oh my, no, she said H4HT talked about my dead mother. And I'm like, girl, I didn't know she was dead. The fuck? But you came over here on my platform. How I'm supposed to know she dead? May she rest in peace too. Because I don't want to be speaking negatively about your mother in that fashion. But I'm speaking about the way that she chose to raise you, to where you coming on my platform talking shit to me for no reason. So just stop. So yeah. And then this one lady, she was like, you're harassing me. I'm not harassing you. I just posted a screenshot of what you said to me when I first started. This was one of my first videos, and you gonna tell me that my video is clickbait. And I said, how is my video clickbait? She was like, because you made a statement saying that Mel is copying Letitia. I said, no. I asked a question, and I asked, was Mel copying Letitia? You don't even know the difference between a statement and a question. And we had a whole back and forth in. And that whole is still mad to this day. Talking about I harassed her. How I'm gonna harass you on my video? You commented on my video, telling me my video is clickbait. I respond to you, you don't like my response. I tell you, bye ho, you tell me you don't gotta go nowhere. I said, okay, ho, well, stay. I'm gonna argue. We're gonna keep going. Then you tell me you don't got time. Then I make a post about your weird ass on my community feed. And then you still in the comments going back and forth. So we gonna go back and forth, because why not? Then you gonna go to another content creator page and talk about me and think I'm not gonna get in the comments and cuss your ass out. Like, please don't ever think you gonna go name drop me in no content creator comment section and I'm not gonna cuss your ass out. Are you crazy? You got the right one. So I cuss your ass out, ho. What are you talking about? I cussed your ass out. Talking about, I don't remember her name. I think her name is, you know my name, ho. That's exactly what I said when I cussed her out. You know my name, ho. Cuss her ass clean out. That's it. That's all. Like, that's it. That's all. All you had to do was keep scrolling if you felt like it was clickbait. If you watched the whole video, then you would clearly know that the video was not clickbait. I asked the question. Like, oh my gosh. Told me, yeah, you know my name, ho. And then she gonna tell me you not know. Then she gonna say she not the it factor of YouTube. She's more like the Letitia of YouTube. So at the time, y'all, that was 10 months ago. That was 11 months ago. That was 11 months ago. At the time, I had screenshotted then when she said it. I don't know why the hell I was screenshotting negative comments about me saying that I wasn't going to. People were saying I wasn't going to last on YouTube because I was cussing them out because I wouldn't allow them to say raggedy shit to me. So they were saying I wasn't going to last on YouTube. They were saying that I was just screenshotting all of the negative comments that people were saying about me, like on my video. And I don't know why I would screenshot them at the time. I really didn't, because I wasn't expecting my channel to grow to where it grew or where it's at today. And I'm very appreciative. I really am. But yeah, so when I had made the post that I made on my community feed again yesterday, it was only to say, like, people was trying to doubt me because I wasn't the traditional blogger. That's all I was trying to say. If you feel some type of way that I took screenshots of shit that you put on the internet and said to me, that's on you. That's on you. But all I did was screenshot it just to remember or whatever. And not like all of the negative comments, just like the ones that were like, you're gonna fail, almost like people basically praying on my downfall. And so yesterday I decided to post them just in memory, like just not in memory, but just to remember, just to go down memory lane. Like, damn. I was like, wow, like, look at this. Talking about don't use this for empathy. Bitch, I'm not using it for empathy. I'm using it to show that I'm a fucking queen. What are you talking about? I'm using it to show that even though people were hating on me because I wasn't like the same bloggers and I wouldn't block them and I wouldn't like say be nice to them while reading them, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a fail. That just means that you don't like me, and you don't have to like me, and you shouldn't come on my channel. But that don't mean I'm not gonna be successful on this platform because I don't let people talk to me any kind of way. Like, you can have an opinion, but it has to make sense. You know, you can't just say bullshit to me. You can't say lies. And I've always stood on that. Always have an opinion, stand on your 10, but don't say no bullshit. Don't be making up lies. Don't say nothing that don't make, you know what I'm saying? So that's all. But yes, thank y'all so much for watching. Listen, yes, I do not stop. Okay? Don't get it twisted. I do not stop. But anyways, thank y'all for joining. I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you can be up to date each every time that I upload. Oh wait, I got a super sticker, I think. Girl, I was like this close to hitting the button. I was this close. Oh my gosh. It says, prayerfully, Lexi's point of view will resonate with Martell's of the world. Rebunking their baby girls becoming Lexi 20 to 28 years from now. Yes. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker. Damn.
Thank you. Good karma. That is a good point. Yeah, that was my dad. He wasn't overly emotional, but funded everything. Now that he's older, he's more emotional, but a man is a provider in his eyes. Facts. Thank you, Val B. You've been here from the beginning, baby. I really, really appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me from the beginning. I really, 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 really appreciate y'all. So y'all better make sure y'all join me on February the 23rd, because we will be going live and we will be celebrating